out as he was going down. You're an artist and I love you from your head
Unlike
down.
Legends
Yes, it
Arceus.
ain't
Well,
perfect
this
to
game
me.
sure got some DLC, but it's very, very, very underwhelming. Okay, so if you want my quick take on this DLC, I personally cannot recommend it for its $30 price tag. I'm sorry, I
quite.
know there is a lot
Wow.
of you that like this game. Trust me, I have seen your comments. I got it because I knew I was going to make content on it
Hey,
and
what's up, Main
possibly
Master?
make my money back from
Just
it.
gonna put this
But
out
even
on
with
the
that,
Discord
I still
server to let
regret
everyone on live.
buying it. Now, don't get me wrong. I like a lot of the new megas in this DLC, to the point that I think they
Discord.
saved some of the stronger designs for the DLC to try to justify the price tag. But a few new megas does not warrant a paid DLC. They are nice, but they are not worth $30. Everything else
Alright.
you get in
How's
this
everybody
DLC
doing?
is as lazy and
Hi,
boring and
how's
unfinished.
everyone doing? Sorry. Oh, that was just the thing on the background. I just had a little video in the background. Enthusiasm just oozes from that. No, we're just tired. What's up, Lapis? Yo, thanks again for helping me out with the content. Did you get my scans? Let's check that out real quick. I kind of had to tell myself that you did Punk Hazard, right? I had to sort of tell myself yesterday. What did you do again? Did you do Punk Hazard, Dressrosa? What did we go into again? Let me just double check. You got the scans for. Oh, right. You did the Shinobi War. That's right. You did the Shinobi War. Yes. Yeah, yes. Shinobi War Arc. Yes. Beautiful. Ah! Is there any way for me to just click on everything? View A to Z. Is there any way to just do all of it without having to... Is there like a select all option? Pray for me, Dark. My toilet just broke. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. I hate it when that happens. The comment section of this video is going to be a war zone or calm. No in between. Hopefully it stays relatively calm. I don't really care for it. I mean, ideally, ideally, right? Like, I guess I should say that hopefully it is a war, so that way people, you know, comment on my stuff and we talk about it and blah, 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 blah. There were a lot. Yes, my apologies. Sorry again for asking you to do so much for me, man. I really do appreciate this, though. Jesus Christ. There really is a lot of Naruto. What are we talking about? I mean, hopefully, like, ideally it would be like a war zone, so that way I get like some answers. I think I've found at least I think I've like devised a way to like make the matchup. Anyway, how is the matchup looking so far? Yeah, no, Luffy stomps right now. I mean, I think I can safely say that like Shippuden Rasen Shuriken Naruto beats East Blue Luffy. Oh, that's right. We're getting a new chapter soon. It's That's right. Do I sound lower? I did fuck around with my mic settings a little bit. Well, not really settings. More so I just fucked around with like the levels of my mic itself. I was messing around with it just to see like how I could get it. Thought you made a Luffy on what it means to fight Luffy. I did make a video on what it means to fight Luffy. And you know what happened right afterwards? Yeah, I got you. Does it sound better? Can you guys hear me better? The Joy Boy hockey was peak. It works so well for the war arc. What are you talking about? Dude, why is this taking forever to go down? Oh my god. I guess because it has to load up all the images. Sure. But anyway, so... I mean... I can maybe argue... I'm trying to make it as clear, like, as close as possible, but, like... There are just a lot of arguments that I have to tackle at once. The video's gonna be a shit show. I'm gonna tell you this right now. It's gonna be a shit show of like arguments and different things. I'm gonna talk about so many fucking metas. I kind of hate it. I'm not gonna lie, but I want to try to make it as it was like 60 megabytes of images. Yeah, that's a lot. The store cap finally catching up to Eon. I don't know if it's the storage cap. Because, like, I don't know why my storage capacity would, like, limit this. But granted, I do have an external hard drive, a new one that I bought. Oh, fantastic. No way I have to redo this. Let's just do, like, 400 images, and let's just hit download. I deserve a more freezy, breezy, funny video. God damn it. Let's just reload the whole fucking page, dude. I'm over it. Let's do like let's do like a couple of shots at a time, and then we'll do it like that. You're gonna make the video. Are you gonna make a video about Luffy fighting? No, I kind of want to just stop Naruto versus Luffy. I just want to stop talking about it after this for a while. I feel like me constantly harping on like One Piece versus Naruto isn't also just going to be healthy for the channel. It won't really allow channel room to grow. I would personally prefer if I could sort of take like a small break from shonen for a bit. And I say this in a way that like, you know, I say this in such a way that like I want people to understand that like, you know, I want to like diversify a bit of the channel content. I think that like adding in a couple of video games into my repertoire would also be pretty nice for the channel, all things considered. I can also watch other series, check other stuff out. Could get the rest of the War Arc. I think I have a good portion of the early War Arc Lapis. I should already have that. I appreciate it though. Thank you. I really do appreciate it though. Thank you. But it does kind of then become like a bit of an issue of like, you know, are the other series that I'm going to talk about closer in specs with like, you know, with the fan base that I've sort of garnered so far? I feel like I've got a lot of people that, you know, just watch, well, everyone watches like a bunch of different things, but I feel like a large portion of my community is really just like the Naruto One Piece side of things. I don't want to divert too much, but I do want to like, you know, check out. I don't want to like, you know, make everyone that followed me for that kind of stuff, you know, feel like, oh, there's no longer content here to watch. I'm trying to find like maybe a good, like some level of a good balance between the two. I do want to try out some game stuff real quick. I might do something like Black Myth Wukong just to. I might do Black Myth Wukong in of itself just to really get like an idea of like what game scaling I can do. I think it would be a lot of fun. There's also Claire Obscura, Expedition 33. I think those are fine. School me on some Digimon. I'd be into those lore videos. I could check out Digimon. Is it doing extremely well? Is it? I really don't check like the shorts out at least. I sort of just make them just to get a bit more traction into the channel. Let's see. Shorts. Sukuna 1 is doing great. Hey, this is doing fantastic. Lovely. I like the fact that these two are doing well. Although I don't get any notifications in terms of comments for them, which I guess is fine. Fuck no, I'm not doing Baki. What about Fairy Tail? Listen. Fairy Tail characters, I'm going to be real with you. It's a lot of... when it comes to Fairy Tail, it's a lot of like power of friendship bullshit, and I don't know if I have the patience to sit through most of that. I'm gonna be real with you. I really don't know if I personally have like the patience for that. I remember liking Fairy Tail in portions, but like it's kind of mid. Fairy Tail is kind of mid. I don't know if I have the patience to like sit down and really, you know, watch the entirety of that. Skip this file. Okay. Beautiful. 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 Oh my god, Lapis, thank you so much. This just kills so much time for me. Once I get through the Naruto Pain arc, it's basically just all the Land of Iron stuff, and then we're basically just going straight into Luffy. Ah, beautiful. Let's skip these files. Oh my god, this just kills so much fucking time for me. Okay, we'll move these over. Yes, we will skip these 5 files. Oh, thank God. Now I don't have to fucking sit through each of those chapters, man. Okay, now I just have to look at them and I don't have to actually download them. That kills actually so much extra time as well. Delete. I've been thinking about this kind of like from the perspective of like, whatchamacallit. I've been thinking about this more so from like the perspective of like, what do you call them? Of like speed runs, where like if you guys have you guys ever like sat down and like really checked out some speed runs, and you know how like, or like you guys ever checked out like the videos that talk about speed running, and they always bring up like you know, a couple of frames over 5 minutes or like a couple of hours, you know, it starts to add up. That's how I feel about like all the click-throughs that I have to go through for like each chapter, waiting for the page to load, all that extra stuff. I feel like that's the amount of time that it takes for all that. It's not really a lot, and it probably what takes away like maybe like 10 minutes total, and that's if I'm, you know, and that's if I'm like really fucking around or like just chatting with you guys, but like I feel like it does add up after a while. Okay. Yeah, this, I don't need this. Pokemon and Minecraft speedruns, yeah, like clicking through stuff eventually does take up some time. Let's see. Okay, actually let's see. Where are we at right now? We need to get to the Pain Assault. I don't think I need this since it's essentially the same page. Okay, so then we're on Pain right now. What was the last thing we read? Let's check out our history from yesterday. That was Library of Ohara, Chakra, Path Network. Was it this one? That's Pung. Okay, so we're chapter 400. Close this, close this. We should be good. Hey, Insatiable Burger, thanks for the 2 months. Wukong versus Kratos isn't original, but def a goodie. I would definitely have to figure out God of War scaling. I know there's a lot of lore that goes into that. I personally feel like if I'm going to go into like video game scaling, I'm probably going to do more based on like what actually happens within the context of the video game. You know, I don't know if I'm going to go like the death battle route of like having the lore have so much weight on like what the scaling is, because lore versus actual feats and stuff, you know, it's a bit different, but I think it would be interesting. Others like it scaled by dimensionality and by relevant calcs. Let me check out. Fairy Tail is Bleach, but worse in the power of friendship aspect. Video game, anime, character fusion, power scaling. You should check out. You should scale Black Clover. We'll definitely eventually cross that bridge. And thoughts on Kagan Omega. I like Kagan Omega, man. I like Kagan. It's really fucking interesting at the point in the story that we're at right now. We're basically, I think, at like the crux or apex of the current series. Where we will be, we're back essentially in the current island location, and the characters are essentially going out of their ways to, like, you know, fight it out for a specific coin, do XYZ, essentially fight one another throughout an island that's close. They basically made an actual battle royale. They basically turned this into a Fortnite battle royale, except there's no guns. I think it's interesting. I like the idea of it, seeing every single able-bodied character and all the ones that they've added from the first series and everyone that they've added into this current series that's still alive, you know, just putting them all in like one island and saying, all right, fight for it. There's also the strongest guy at the top of the island, or he's going to try to make his way to the center of the island. I think that shit's peak, man. I love that kind of stuff. One Piece ends. Would love an end of series. Pirate King Luffy versus Goku end of series. Sword God Zoro versus Ichigo. World's fastest man Sanji versus Naruto vid. That's a lot, but we could probably go through this. I got it done in roughly 4 hours. Oh, that's actually really good timing, Lapis. Holy shit. Naruto is a Corazon victim since he can disable the talk no jutsu. That's funny. Did you see what I sent you yesterday? The Mont Door stuff. I read it close to before I went to bed. I only read like the couple of the messages that you brought up. I didn't read the full thing, only because I try to let my eyes rest, and I try not to be on my phone too much after getting offline. I basically spent like 3 hours cleaning up the house, cooking, and just doing all around chores, dude. I wasn't done until like 9 p.m. That shit was honestly just annoying. But it's fine. I kind of just lied back. I didn't really talk to anyone that nice night, actually. Yeah, kind of. If you want me to scale Black Clover right after Naruto versus Luffy, I don't know, like $500, because like that's basically just going through like another how long is Black Clover? Like 300 chapters. Like, I'm not gonna say like some insane price, but I think it's like high enough that like most people aren't gonna pay for that. 386. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, it's probably enough for like it's actually shorter than Naruto. It's actually slightly. It's like only like 100 chapters, like 100 and what, 14 chapters longer than JJK. I could probably get through that. It's really $300. I'll do it for $300. I'll do it for every 100 chapters. I'll charge $100. Also, getting all these scans taught me that there is actual moon level feat by Sasuke. What's the actual moon level feat by Sasuke? You know what I was thinking about? You know what I was thinking about yesterday? I was talking to my lady friend, and you know, we were just. I was just explaining her like my entire reasoning for the scaling. She doesn't know shit about power scaling, or at least everything that she knows so far. Everything that she sort of like learned so far has sort of been from like the stuff that I've been telling her. She was asking me like, you know, why are you doing, can Asta storm the beaches of Normandy? Yes, Asta could very easily storm the beaches of Normandy. I would probably put money on it. That's you? Yeah. I love the name, by the way. What is it? 7 Even Seas? That's a pretty cool name. Has a Hunter x Hunter agenda? No, I definitely don't have a Hunter x Hunter agenda. I just don't care for it. How about Yu Yu Hakusho? I'm not a fan of the older animes. I don't know. I checked out a couple of things from Yu Yu Hakusho. Yeah, it really is. It really is funny. It really is funny. Got monkey walked by 3 Eyes. Sasuke. I was thinking about maybe throwing in some like ultimate jutsus from like Naruto, and I was thinking about this for a second, right? I was telling her, you know, she okay, so she doesn't know a lot, but she's able to at least keep up with like the logic and a lot of the attacks that I have in the back of my mind. Oh shit, Insatiable Burger, thank you for the 5. I appreciate you, Eon and Stein, the only content creators that question BL being Bleach being multi. It's insane how many YouTubers doubt DB, Naruto, and One Piece, but never doubt Bleach. Yeah, what happened to the promise of Black Clover after Bleach? Oh yeah, I can do Black. Wait, did I do Black? Did I say that? Okay, I can check it out soon then. If I said that, then sure. I'm not gonna double check myself, but sure. How long do you think this video will be? At least over an hour long. At least over an hour long. I was actually chatting with her. She told me like I was telling her like, you know, some people have been bringing up like Hokage Naruto and everything, and I've been mentioning time and time again that if I want to do Hokage Naruto, I haven't scaled Boruto, but I do at least feel like I understand the scaling well enough that or at least I have a decent enough understanding of like Boruto Naruto, that like Boruto era Naruto, that like, you know, given the writing style of the series, given all of the things that I have seen off of the top of my head, they're really, at least in my opinion, at least in my personal opinion, there really isn't like a lot that I think Naruto even in Boruto can do. And I explained to her like the concept of Baryon mode. I put like I went into like as much detail as I could about you know, how much stronger Naruto potentially gets, you know, the whole half of the 9 tails and then the whole creation things with the Otsutsuki, but it doesn't necessarily translate to attack potency, so on and so forth. And I'm like, Naruto is vaguely a lot more powerful than he should be in at the end of series of Boruto. He's a lot more powerful. He's vaguely more powerful in Boruto than he should be in Naruto. I can't tell you by how much, because I can't tell you how big of an amp a regular half of the 9 tails is going to be for him, especially now that he has 6 Pats powers. It should make his overall chakra reserves at least twice as big as they normally would be, but I don't know if that necessarily makes up the difference in speed. Then there's the whole conversation about, like, you know, how much faster him and Sasuke have gotten. Well, it's kind of impossible to tell. Sasuke does state that they're able to take on a Kaguya level threat, but that does not inherently mean they're a threat on the same level that Kaguya can essentially cause, but I don't know if that necessarily includes the ETSO, because I don't know how powerful the ETSO, or not how powerful. I don't know how Naruto and Sasuke individually deal with the ETSO without it being like the Boruto era, Majestic Attire Susanoo, yada yada yada. You know, I go into all that stuff with her. Because she was asking me, like, you know, from everything that you've described to me so far, it just feels like this is just a complete mismatch between Naruto and Luffy. And I tell her, you know, it is, but a lot of people don't seem to want to grasp. And she was like, why do people have such a hard time believing the One Piece stuff that you've told me, right? And I told her about the continent stuff, and she's like, yeah, you know, that, at least to me, as someone who doesn't really know power scaling and, you know, kind of is only keeping up with, like, the things that you're saying, or at least keeping track of the things that you're saying, she keeps up with it actually very well, in my opinion. She was like, it just doesn't seem close, like, by any means. And I'm like, yeah, but, you know, and I got into the whole explanation of, like, the early power scaling stuff. Naruto really only had power scalers. One Piece really didn't have that many power scalers, or at least, you know, the whole chapter 690, page 10, for, what series? Let me grab, it was the deal with the Chibaku Tensei. Oh, 690, page 10. I already have the thing up, so I can just check it out for you. Yeah, thank you. 690, page 10. What's the moon level stuff for Sasuke? Let's see. This is page 9, so that would mean this is page 10. Is this for Naruto and, or is this for Hagoromo? This is for Hagoromo, I completely agree. You said it was for... Is this for Sasuke? What about Sasuke? What does Sasuke have to do with this? Besides, you know, obviously him and Naruto tag Kaguya, but what does Sasuke individually have to do with this? Yeah, this is 690. Imagine power scaling yourself. What is the best and worst take on current versus debating meta you have heard or seen? Current worst take? Not to this Chibaku Tensei. I wouldn't argue Sasuke scales to this one specifically. This is mostly a Hagoromo feat, given that, you know, it's literally his jutsu. Oh, this is catastrophic planetary construction. Is this different? I don't know. Anyway, I was actually telling her, you know, like, in all honesty, I could probably throw Sasuke into the video. I could probably throw Sasuke into the video, and in all honesty, I was thinking about it more and more. Besides Amaterasu specifically, Sasuke doesn't really have a way of even hitting Luffy. I mean, you see this jutsu that Sasuke does, like, in the Storm games? You see this jutsu right here? I can unironically say Luffy can deal with this jutsu negative difficulty. I can unironically say that this jutsu right here is something Luffy could easily deal with and even likely bounce it right back. There was actually a jutsu combination from, like, the Indra and Asura dudes. Let me see. Not this one, not this one. This is Naruto and Sasuke. One second. No, this one's from like 2 years ago. We need Sasuke, Madara, Indra, Ultimate. 1 second. I think it was like this jutsu right here. Like, I can unironically, everything besides like the black flames specifically, I can unironically see Luffy literally just toss this back out at somebody. It's not this one though. There was one where Sasuke calls down like Naruto. What is it? Naruto. It's Naruto Storm Connections. There was like a Storm Connections Ultimate Jutsu. Let's check this one out. This is 7th Hokage Naruto, Sasuke Uchiha. Is that the... Oh, here it is. Like, this jutsu right here, I can unironically see Luffy quite literally just chuck it right back at Sasuke. I can unironically see Luffy chuck this all back at Sasuke. Sen, when does all the Claire hurt the soul? Chakra hurt the soul? Thoughts on JJK Modulo, the chapter with the Dabura? Okay, Carlos, I appreciate it. Please not, let's please not spoil too much of, like, the new JJK stuff for those that have, brought up. But thank you for the 5, guys. Can we get some W's for, can we also get some W's for Carlos and Insatiable? But, what were we talking about? JJK, the new stuff. I'm gonna be honest with you. I want to see what Maharaga stands. There was actually a really interesting post that I saw a couple days ago. That was like, Maharaga truly is the one person in fiction that can like go 0-3 and somehow still, he can go like what? 0-3 and still have some of the most aura that has ever been witnessed in any portion of like anime. Like, how do you go 0-3 and you still have that much aura? Maharaga's a fucking problem, dude. What's good, Bob? I heard someone say that Boruto beats Ichigo and since chakra uses spiritual attacks and all this stuff deals soul damage, which is absolutely wrong because soul affecting jutsu is rare in Naruto. Well, not just that. I mean, Ichigo should be hurt in general simply because the whole soul shit is bullshit. I mean, characters in Bleach bleed. They just straight up bleed. I don't know what to tell you. It's because they compare the curvature. It's because compared to the curvature of the planet, it should have a good fraction of the planet's mass because it takes out not just the crust but the mantle and the outer core of the planet. Does it take out the outer core? Does it take out the outer core? Let me pull that back up again. I don't know why I closed that. Why did I close that? 690? 690 page 10. I don't know about it taking out a portion of the core. I think I probably wouldn't agree with that, but I can see where you're coming from with it. JJK was so peak. We're getting good ass scaling and might become a JJK glazer. I'm telling you, man, JJK is great. Yo, you haven't really missed much. Luffy is immune to lightning, so yeah, he can chuck any jutsu that isn't blade-based attacks. He probably could even chuck a blade-based jutsu at this point. I'm just kidding. I don't know. Boruto outspeeds Ichigo and hits him with an Uzuhiko and he's cooked, probably. Kuroki Genzai or Kure Ryan Kengan rules? Kuroki... Are we saying that... Oh, wait, do you really think that... Okay. Are we talking... Wait, french fries. Are we talking, like, Ryan from the current point in Kengan Asura? Or are we talking Ryan from, like, the original Annihilation Tournament? Because if we're talking original Annihilation Tournament, Kuroki Gensai probably still wins. I mean, I don't know, man. He was, like, the one guy in all of OG Kengan Asura that basically took next to no damage. Yeah, that shit is crazy. Outer core. Yeah. I'm lost. And that sounds insane. Have you seen It? Welcome to the Dairy. Not to spoil, Pennywise constantly rage baiting and lost because of he aura farmed. I've seen It. I don't know. Personally, those movies just aren't for me. I've tried to see it. It is creepy to see the clown stuff, but besides that, it's not really for me. Boruto Haki beats Ichigo since he's faster and has Uzuhiko. Yeah, probably. Reaper Death Seal is the only jutsu affecting the soul in Naruto that I could think of on the top. There's also the that spiritual jutsu that Tsunade's old hubby Dan could do. He can also affect it. And Haki, he can, but without tank it. Edo Tensei, but that isn't an attack. Soul Reapers and Hollows are tangible. The weaker human ghosts are intangible. Wait, the Uzuhiko, I presume the Planet Spin Rasengan, does it work out of the verse? I mean, it should. I don't know why. Unless, like, there is a specific explanation that Boruto has to use, like, the energy of his planet specifically. I don't know. Should we do another Winkathon? I haven't done one of those in a while. We haven't. We really haven't. We could probably do one at the end of the year. We could probably do one. Yujiro Hanma could spin Maharaga's wheel backwards to reverse the effects. Probably. I could see Yujiro Hanma having some rare Tibetan monk technique that he learned off of the backs of I don't know, chupacabras or some shit, man. He just has something, man. Just has something. And from the moment he resigned himself to battling you he had resigned himself to battling you to the death. That is Itachi's truth. That's a lie. It's gotta be a lie. Okay. It's nonsense. He tried to kill me over and over and really wanted to kill you. He would have most certainly be dead. He used the Mangekyo Sharingan on me. Even your contingency plans were part of his calculations. Itachi had to pressure you during that battle. I'm sure you already understand why. Finally, it emerges. He wanted to free you of the curse mark in Orochimaru by causing you to lose the ones you were closest to. The battle would awaken the Mangekyo Sharingan. Everything that occurred during the battle had carefully set up, diverting your attention by playing the act of stealing your eyes to the very end. You're seeing the truth, you lie. You sent the Nine Tails to assault the village. Itachi said it was all you're doing. 16 years ago, Madara's better defeated dog. He's not worth capable of grasping true greatness. I am the one who will surpass Madara and approach the ultimate shinobi. You laid false charge against Uchiha and joined the Itachi to toy with our clan. That's Itachi's lie, I told you. I feared something to find the truth. To keep it hidden. He fed you lies. You had to distrust me. He even planted the Amaterasu in your eye. I won't believe it. Itachi's evil. He's a criminal. Slaughtered. He took the burden on himself and fled to his birth village. Became an Akatsuki. Spied on the operation. He always had foremost in mind, as well as yours, it appeared. Itachi appeared in Konoha after the death of the protector of the third Hokage to remind Dons and the council he was alive. He wanted to make sure, stop it, you lie. You're alive, aren't you? Who goes through life and death? Bullish words and attitude is always I'll accept those words for now at least. Your eyes didn't see through Itachi at all, nor a single one of his illusions. Itachi killed his friends, his superiors, his lovers, his father and his mother, but his little brother alone he could not kill. He killed all of his own emotions, save for crying tears of blood, and slaughtered his own flesh and blood for the sake of his village, but he couldn't bring himself to kill you. You understand what that means? To him, your life was more precious than even the village. New hero Kono got ravaged by illness, painfully aware of his impending death. He forcibly prolonged his life with medication, all for his most beloved little brother, because he had to fight you and die in front of you. For the peace of Konoha village, he desired a criminal disgrace, but he bequeathed to you the Uchiha name, still fooling you to the very end. Yeah. I could do the multi-solar system to low multi-roaring night for the walkathon, for the wankathon. Yeah, I think that would be fine. I think that would actually be really fun. Make sure to read through my yap once you get the chance. I got you. We can actually read through that. We have shed the skin of the snake. We're no longer having this name. Our team will be the Hawk. We are the Taka. Taka shall be one moment. We exist to destroy the Hidden Leaf Village. To destroy Konoha. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Itachi Pain Arcs. Let's go here. What are you guys doing? Oh, sorry. Sasuke. One second. Sasuke versus Zoro. Is that even a good video idea? Like, I personally believe it's not close. Like, Zoro gets close. That's kind of just GG. If Tsunade is able to break a Susanoo, Zoro definitely could. Everyone in Naruto is an alien. They should all just move back to the planet and leave Earth alone. Jesus Christ. I could do so many things to the Wankathon. I honestly hasn't been as scary since the first movie. The series is good, but not overall scary. Also, the scale for the series is crazy. I'd imagine. How many donations have we gotten so far? We've gotten, what, 2 donations? Fan funding? Yeah, we got 2 donations, and I really appreciate them, guys. I really do appreciate them. Do you think Kuroki can win the Annihilation Tournament if he has 0 intel? The Annihilation Tournament? What do you mean? Like, he can, like, if he fights every single character back alone, you know, obviously with like healing in between, can he beat them without knowing what they can do? Probably. I would actually argue Kuroki is the most skilled martial artist within the first Annihilation Tournament. Now this next one that's happening in Omega, no, I don't think so. I don't think I have a reason to believe current Kuroki is capable of beating what's his face, Shen Wulong. It would require me to play the Roaring Night fight in Chapter 4 of Deltarune to get the scaling. I would probably say you can get it done. Do the membership joining count as money? As money donations? Well, they do go towards the channel at the end of the day. Am I interested in Beyblade scaling? I heard Beyblade scaling gets like very fucking stupid, and some people argue it's like universal or whatever. I don't know, man. I would probably do like the original series Beyblade. I don't care if to do the Metal Fusion stuff or the Metal series, just because that shit was cringy as all hell. I don't like listen, I kind of could get it. I could kind of back the idea of like the Heart of the Cards for Yu-Gi-Oh, even though it was all bullshit because Atem was cheating. But when it comes to like the Blader spirit, I'm just completely out of it. I just stopped giving a fuck. Once like Jinga Hagane, or whatever the fuck his name was, once he went on that bullshit, I after like listening to multiple seasons of him and his friends talk about the Blader spirit, I was just far fucking over it, man. I just did not care anymore, dude. Tyson, Kai, and the rest of the gang scaling. Yeah, I'm talking about like Tyson, Kai, fucking Dryger, Dragoon, Draziel, like all of those shits. I'm fine with that. But if we're talking like the Jinga Kagane stuff, probably not. I don't care for Beyblade scaling like that to begin with. I think it'd be a fun series to look back into, but I am under no circumstance doing that other shit. I can't stand that Blader Spirit ship, dude. I can't stand it. It is so fucking cringe to me. Tyson, Ray, Max, yeah. What it means to fight Nami is that you fight Sanji and the rest of the crew. Type shit! That would actually be a really funny joke for the end of the series. Like, and just in case, for whatever reason, you're fighting Nami or you get her fucking problems, now you have the entire rest of the crew. The entire fucking rest of the, At that point, you probably have the entire rest of the Straw Hat pirate crew just showing up doing this. That would be so fucking peak, dude. Pegasus destroys the groom? Probably, but I don't give a shit. That shit is cringe. Was the only my Gen Z ass consumed. There might be nostalgia, but I love it. I listen, I was like 12 or 13 years old when that shit was coming out. I can probably say I can have some nostalgia for it. Fuck no, dude. Listen, to a certain extent, it felt like they were trying to really go like the Yu-Gi-Oh route with it, where they were just trying to make like the characters seem or sound like, oh man, we're... Do I already have all of this? Apparently so. Where they essentially trying to have like the characters, have like some actual connection to their fucking spinning tops. And I get that like that was already a deal that we kind of had. I understand that like that was already a bit of the deal that we kind of had, going into the like, let me see, Pain Assault. There we go. Okay. And like I get that like some people like. We kind of already had that like in the original series, but man, I don't care, dude. Like the Blader spirit, oh, you gotta fight like this for the blade. I don't know, man. That shit was just it for me. I couldn't do it. About scaling Kamen Riders and someone hasn't scaled Power Rangers. Dude, I don't want to watch live action shit. I don't like watching live action stuff, man. I don't know what to tell you. You do know someone in Wano was amazed by the Gazelle Man who ate a smile of fruit. You go like 488 Mach speeds that way is lower than FTL. It's not consistent. Oh, you're talking about the... Oh, it's you. It's you. You're talking about the... What the fuck do you call it? The Gazelle Man stuff, right? Well, for one, you're objectively wrong. He runs at 200 kilometers an hour, which is like... He goes like 200 kilometers an hour. That's not even anywhere close to the speed of sound, for starters. So, we're already going into that. And second... It's not even a matter of travel speed. I mean, that is his travel speed, sure, but that doesn't matter because I have explained this many times before, and I have a whole video you can check out, since I'm not going to bring it up. I have a whole video that you are more than welcome to check out to allow you to figure out what exactly I mean by this. But essentially, the entirety of the Gazelle Man feat is basically story-related plot contrivance. In other words, the reason why they get away with the things that they do, the reason why Gazelle Man gets away with the kid and Luffy and Zoro don't instantly speed blitz him is because the story must move along. If anyone is going to remotely try to argue Naruto or One Piece or whatever the fuck you want to argue because of whatever reason, which is completely fine thing to do, I have no issues with that. You're going to have to also accept the fact that, and not agree, you don't have to necessarily agree, but you have to at least accept the fact that the whole Gazelle Man schniz is basically, I'm going to just take this all, I'm just going to take all of this. The whole Gazelle Man thing is entirely, 1 second, let me type this in. It's all plot-related contrivance. Basically, no, not into this. 1 second, it's this. I'm gonna move these real quick. 1 second. Pain Assault. There we go. Okay, so we moved everything, and then I believe... 1 second. What do I have here? Do I have the Sasuke arriving? I do not. We do not. Okay, so this gets deleted. And then... Why does it just shoot me all the way back down? I don't know. Okay. This, and we'll just move these back up here. Okay. Skip these files. Sure. Thank you. Give me 1 second. And these. Delete. Perfect. Okay. So I guess I don't need anything from the Sasuke fight. Do I need anything from this fight? I suppose I do not. 414. Let's see what happens in 414. Oh, back to what I was saying. Oh, this is the Sage Mode stuff. Yes, this is the Sage Mode stuff. Which I suppose I should probably go back for. I guess I should, yeah. No, I still do need to click on these chapters. Fuck me, dude. Alright. What were we talking about? Okay, here we go. What's stopping him? Oh, right. We were talking about that. Right. Plot-related reasoning. The story must move along. There's a whole video you can check out that quite literally just quite literally explains your entire fucking problem. Just check out my One Piece's Lightspeed video and go into like the portion where I'm talking about the debunks, or the quote-unquote debunks. They're not really debunks. They're more like misinformed and disingenuous claims that absolutely hold no weight whatsoever when in this actual discussion, because you essentially have to just genuinely believe. There is no way Kishimoto can beat these two are gay allegations when he's literally drawing them with little pendants of each other with little faces on them. Listen, there is no heterosexual reason as to why that they can even remotely explain this. There's just no heterosexual reason that explains this kind of bullshit, dude. Listen, and that's fine. Listen. I very much don't give a shit if Naruto or Sasuke are gay. As a matter of fact, I've said this before. I am perfectly fine. I would have been more okay with the idea of Sasuke getting with Naruto at the end of the series than either of them getting with Sakura of all people, because fuck that bitch. But there is no heterosexual explanation why these two would wear these pendants unless they're in a relationship. And you know what? I think that's fucking beautiful. You know what? But it's also a bit weird because they are technically by some very some very old, for some very, not old, what's the right word here? What's the right word to use here? They are, oh, that's cool. These like icicles outside my window are dripping, and they're very long icicles. Sorry, I've got the attention span of a fucking hamster today. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah. Since, technically speaking, these two are essentially related. Why do rivalry in animes always feel so gay? Because rivalries in animes don't always feel gay, because, like, you have, like, the Black Clover stuff, where, like, Asta and Yuno... Yo, Kishimoto really loved drawing feet, man. He's not beating the allegations. Asta and Yuno, I would say, like, don't really give off, like, that kind of vibe. They're really just, like, two dudes that are really just trying to, like, one-up each other all the time, and they're constantly pushing each other. With Naruto and Sasuke, it's just one guy chasing after another, and the other guy saying, I don't want you. Don't just go away. I'm not your friend. I'm not your friend. And it kind of just boils down for that. Although, to be fair, it would be kind of weird for these two to ever get together, only because, like I was saying before, technically speaking, Naruto and Sasuke are, like, related to an extent. They're, like, far back related, dude. You're not the one who should talk about the allegations. Listen, this isn't about me. No one's talking about me right now, Aster. We're talking about Kishimoto and his clear enjoyment of drawing feet, which I think is, perfectly fine. I mean, it's just feet. But, like, at the end of the day, it's like, man, Kishimoto really is just never beating those allegations. There is being bros, and then there's this. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with this. But at the end of the day, again, no heterosexual reason even remotely explains why that's the case. Had the same X mark in Alabasta on their arm. What are you talking about? What you talking about? I'm gonna be honest with you, I've not read anything you've said past, like, the Gazelle Man stuff. Is just a coward and wouldn't write a gay relationship like Horikoshi. Who the fuck is Horikoshi? Is Horikoshi, what's his face? The writer of, not Hunter x Hunter, that's not, My Hero? Horikoshi's My Hero? Yes, My Hero, yes. You don't kiss your homie before they go to bed. Oh, I do that all the time, bro. But again, the shit between Naruto and Sasuke, that shit is diabolical. Do I have to pull the Brandish clip? That was a fucking joke, Aster. God damn, motherfuckers can't take a joke, bruh. People take everything so seriously. Oh, you do what? You make a joke one time. Make a joke one time. Just because somebody decided to crack a joke and I decided to pull the bit and pulled up a random fucking image and then decided to like sniff at it does not mean that I am on the same level as these guys. I'm still gonna have to read this anyway. This is Sasuke before he really starts to like crash out. Is it Joe though, Eon? I wonder. What is it? Oh, is it a joke though? It was a joke! What the fuck? It was a joke. That's crazy. And I don't appreciate you assuming that it wasn't. Weren't there pegging allegations? For who? Who the fuck? Now we're just bringing up random fucking shit. What kind of bullshit is this? You sleep with Sukuna. Oh, I wish I could, but he would never let me even remotely make contact with him. I sleep on the dog bed at the side of my outside of my king's room. Am I gonna scale JoJo's? Probably. This stream's going well. Yeah, let's try to like roll it back to Naruto and all this other shit, guys. Being voted gayest anime over JoJo is funny as fuck. Yeah, it's pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. Someone clip that. Nobody's clipping nothing, bro. Just relax. Nobody's saying anything crazy. Can we power scale eating did y'all know Luffy apparently ate 1 billion calories on whole cake against Cracker? Like, Luffy, Kirby, and Goku need to have food off. I was thinking about making a Kirby versus Toriko a scaling thing whenever I decide to sit down and read Toriko. I could probably throw in some Kirby stuff in there. I have a friend that does like Kirby a lot. He doesn't scale, but I think it'd be pretty interesting. You telling me the 6 pains are all Genjutsu? Maybe a female caster member, maybe by the female Akatsuki member who was there too. No. Alright. Kirby automatically wins? I don't know, because, like, there's apparently some really crazy stuff. I've heard some of Kirby's scaling. There's zero way he beats Toriko. Some of the Toriko stuff I've heard is pretty insane, but Toriko also has... So, like, Kirby also has some pretty insane stuff. It's so above, it's not fair at all. See, this is why I feel like I want to make the video. I feel like it'd actually be... You clogged the pipes. I did not clog any pipes, my guy. Kirby eats like planets. I'm not out eating him. I don't know, man. There's some shit that, like, Toriko's eating too, apparently. Look at your last comments, or... I can hook you up with some Kamen Rider shows. I've only seen 2 shows. If you give it a chance, I'll give it a chance. But like, I need you guys to just give me a time to finish all of this first. When I'm done with this video, when I feel like I can finally like get back and like do something new. Well, because after this, I'm doing the Bleach stuff. I want to finish the Bleach video before. Why the fuck am I downloading any of this? I'm just clicking random shit now. Make sure you rescue takes. We will rescue him. Don't worry. Raikage, rash conclusions. Here, pessimistic theory. He's our teacher, Lord B. Yeah. Sasuke has blundered. It's an octopus like. It's not funny. You sacrificed several of my limbs. No, don't get mad, Ado. Man, Naruto's so cool with Sage Mode. I love the Sage Mode power-up. What is your take on healthy Edo Nagato versus healthy Edo Itachi? Well, they both have win conditions against one another in those states, right? Itachi did pretty much beat Nagato, granted. I don't know how Itachi on his own beats Planetary Devastation. He did kind of need a Tailed Beast Bomb and a Rasen Shuriken in addition to his own Yasaka Magatama. And I don't know if Itachi's got a jutsu that just straight up takes down Chibaku Tensei. Like, do you think Itachi can beat Nagato? Like, I think it kind of matters. I'll put it like this. I think that it's a relatively close enough fight, depending on how you believe, on whether or not you believe that Itachi can get rid of Nagato before Nagato just says, fuck it, planetary devastation. Like, I feel like a lot of people will say that, you know, Itachi did get the ups on Nagato, and, oh, you finished Sabaody? Sweet. I'll add that stuff when I can. I'll add that stuff when I can. We downloaded Lapises before I started. I think that, like, with Edo Itachi, one of the biggest things that, like, gave him such a massive advantage against Nagato in the first place was the fact that Kabuto and Nagato did not know that Itachi, at least at that point in time, was, like, out of the Genjutsu, because we don't really know, like, the next time that we see Itachi and stuff like that, when he's, like, helping them out, he's essentially also targeted, like, the summonings already. In a situation where, like, Nagato is capable or allowed to, or is, like, already, like, has his sights set on Itachi. Itachi can't just, like, take them down, like, side by side whenever the fuck he wants. It kind of becomes a bit of an issue, you know what I mean? Dude, sweet. Like, do you think that Itachi can just catch Nagato regardless of whatever it is that he does before Nagato uses planetary devastation? Do you think he can do it afterwards? You know what I mean? There we go. There we go. There we go. One Piece and we're talking about blue-haired Toriko and the One Piece crossover, right? Because I gotta watch y'all talking crazy. I think Itachi can get him before, but it is really close. Yeah, like, if you think Itachi can get Nagato, despite all of the, like, summonings and everything that he can bring up, like, yeah, Matarasu is a thing, right? Matarasu doesn't necessarily affect, like, Nagato as well as one would think, since he did just blow it away from him, but, you know, off of the grant that, like, you know, Itachi does take care of all the animal summonings and everything, like, would he also Totsuka Blade Nagato immediately? Will he pull it out at the start of the fight? I don't personally think so. I mean, he did just catch him off guard whenever he could. I could definitely see that being the case. Man, I remember when I was making the Big Mom. I know some people don't like Sage Mode because it doesn't have drawbacks like the previous. It does have drawbacks. What are you talking about? The drawbacks come before anything. The drawbacks come before everything else. Naruto has to essentially remain still and leave like a clone sitting back so they can absorb nature energy for him. Though he's found ways to circumvent it, it does have drawbacks. The only real issue is that, like, once you get the amp, it's essentially just a curse mark level amp that's pretty fucking impressive, all things considered. Anybody else high right now? No. I nearby claim that the crossover was canon and Luffy shortly after post time skip is relative to DBZ Super Saiyan 2. Jesus Christ. I hereby claim, I think you meant, but yeah. How strong is planetary devastation? Is it island or country level? I mean, some people here would argue that it's larger than mountains, so it probably would be an island level feat. So, sure. Like, nothing states that. It's never literally next to a mountain. You have mountains in the background, so again, perspective shots. I can't tell you how big it is by comparison, but I can at the very least say, hey, man. It's pretty fucking big. I wouldn't say country level. I don't know about planetary devastation taking out a country, but yeah. It's obviously planet level in the name. You know what I'm gonna do? Because this shit has been bothering me since yesterday. Once we're done with this arc... Yeah, village. Yeah. You see the hole and it's a lot bigger. Well, we're going to get to that soon enough. I thoughts on Sage Mode Jiraiya versus Naruto beats him. Naruto beats him. Like Sage Jiraiya would have to, you have to give Sage Jiraiya the Toad summons, and I guess if you want to say that like Ma and Pa Toad do their genjutsu, the Naruto likely loses. I mean, I don't know how Jiraiya stops Naruto. That would have to be their opening move, because if Naruto decides to just straight up use Rasen Shuriken, I don't know exactly how Jiraiya stops that. The thing about it is that, like, it's basically stated Naruto surpasses Jiraiya in this arc specifically. Your best bets for Jiraiya are saying that he makes Naruto run out of Sage Mode before he does, which should be very easy, considering Naruto at best has like 5 minutes. But besides that, I don't know. Can the Rinnegan absorb a Susanoo? It has never showed the capacity to do it. I have no reason to believe it can. After talking to frogs, no. That is another thing, though. If we can't merge, we gotta figure out a way to pull nature energy while I'm moving. It's even less likely, boy. I never imagined merging wouldn't work. I won't give up. There's no other choice. But I'm saying it's impossible. I'm sorry. I just had no idea. He's one of us. Yo, Ebizu, you cannot like him. You can say the character's trash, garbage shinobi, probably just a better teacher than Kakashi's like the best thing you can say for Naruto. But like, dude, that was a pretty hype moment. Him basically sitting there defending Naruto. That was pretty fucking hype, man. That shit is pretty fucking hype. You're looking... No, I've got to work harder than I did to get to this point. Besides, the sort of training I've never tried before. To gather nature energy whose principle is stillness while running. Again, one more time. Take a little break, otherwise, what is it? What the fuck was the point of, like, this jutsu that Tsunade's doing? I don't even remember. Naruto, save us. Come back. Fang over Fang. Fraud Coup never destroyed a single star. Which multiverse did Asa destroy? Oh, you guys are just going. Is Susanoo classified as a ninjutsu? Probably. That doesn't help out. Kekkei Genkai is stated to be a ninjutsu. Okay, so allegedly. But at the same time, so is Kaguya's Ame no Minaka, and Sasuke can't absorb that. So I guess it can't absorb all ninjutsu, just... I guess it can't absorb, like, chakra constructs or time-space creations. I'm definitely not downloading that. Fuck it, I have to. Alright. It does have the bottom line of text. God, these characters yap. Oh, right. Yap, yap, yap. Jesus. Alright, I'm gonna crash out, dude. What scans do you have post Dressrosa? Let's check it out. Library, One Piece. Okay, so Dressrosa, I'm probably gonna look at through myself just because I don't want to. I mean, Dressrosa after that is the following arc after Dressrosa is Zoe technically, but I don't think I need anything from Zoe specifically. So it would be Whole Cake Island. I only have these 827, 829, 831, 842, 45. Like at that point, I might as well just get all of Whole Cake Island on my own. It's basically Whole Cake, Wano. If anything, I probably would appreciate like Elbaf or either Elbaf or Egghead. Either of those two would work. With Amino Manaka, it might be a matter of size. Time space ninja being the exception. Also, space-time ninjutsu seems to be the exception. Fair enough. Can you prove that a Rinnegan user can absorb a Susanoo? The logic is sound. It still applies. The question would still apply. I don't know why it would be relevant if somebody can absorb a Susanoo if a Rinnegan user can absorb it. No, it's fine. Did you hear that Diddy got 3 extra months for drinking prison wine? Imagine getting nothing for the stuff he did, but getting 3 months for that bullshit. The internet, the justice system is completely flawed, and it failed us the moment that Diddy walked away. I don't know. The guy was a monster. He should have gotten a lot more time, but he didn't. So what am I supposed to tell you? Goku has no defense against Ryuo. Ultra Instinct is a shitty version of Ops. I would not say Ultra Instinct is a shitty version of that. Elbaf Luffy versus Kaido. Luffy already beat Kaido, and you're giving him essentially an extra 2 arcs of power-ups. I don't know, man. Or at least an arc and a half worth of upgrades. I don't know, dude. I'd probably still put my money on Luffy. Especially now that he can just hit Kaido with 4th gear attacks in his base form. Probably still goes like high diff with Kaido, but but like, I don't know. When people say the whole idea of like, oh man, Luffy isn't stronger than Kaido. He doesn't beat Kaido, especially after Wano. I don't know. I think we're just watching 2 different series at that point. I think that something probably you probably have something, or you just don't want to believe the fact that Luffy is stronger for whatever reason. Like, there's something that makes you not want to believe that Luffy's stronger at that point. I mean, he beat Kaido. Like, the amount of like, if you genuinely believe that the amount of damage that Luffy did to Kaido, or at least the amount of damage that other people did to Kaido, isn't an amount of damage that Luffy can make up for now, after beating Kaido, and with an entire arc's worth of potential power-ups, I don't know, man. Yeah, now it's 1 round. Like, why would I believe that, like, the damage that the samurai did to Kaido, a single scar that Zoro did, and slamming Kaido into the ground, which Luffy can do, and like the only thing that I don't think he can replicate is Gamma Knife, but it's not like it ever remotely slowed him down in the first place. It's like, what do I tell you in that regard, right? Like what argument really is there at that point? Like, the piddling number of hits that Yamato landed, the 1 hit that Zoro landed, and the shallow damage that Luffy verbatim said. Luffy who landed the most hits, by the way. Luffy who landed the most hits against Kaido, even when they were on the rooftop. The 1 hit from Gamma Knife, the 1 slam that Eustace Kid landed, Zoro's 1 scar on Kaido, and the 4 or 5 hits that Yamato landed, and I'm probably overestimating the number of hits that Yamato landed, and the Akazaya 9's strikes that Kaido also verbatim said is too shallow. You expect me to believe that are all also weaker than every one of the characters that I mentioned prior to this. You expect me to believe that, like, Luffy can't make up, 20 hits worth of damage on Kaido an arc after? Yeah, no. Fuck no. Fuck no. At that point, at that point we just don't have the discussion at all. I don't feel like having the discussion with someone that they're willing to say, oh yeah. Characters way weaker than Advanced Conquerors Haki Luffy round 3 against Kaido. All these characters weaker than that version of Luffy, yeah, they did more damage than Gear 5 Luffy's able to make up in a single fucking go. Yeah, no. With Gear 5, yeah, no. We're just not having that discussion at that point. Onigashima Kaido is stronger than God Valley Kaido? Yes, I would argue that Kaido with the ability to activate hybrid form and the ability to activate a version 2 hybrid form, just because I can't call it an awakening because it isn't an awakening. Yeah, I would believe that that version of Kaido with 20 years of extra practice on his Devil Fruit probably would beat Kaido who just got the Dragon Fruit. Would you count sound cutting attack that Killer did on Kaido affecting him? I would say it affected him in the same way that I would say the Gamma Knife affected him. I just don't think that the attacks in general had any long-lasting effects that helped Luffy in beating Kaido towards the end. Are you dumb, bro? Do you know how much stamina Ultra Instinct takes in Goku's final form, a shitty version of Observation Haki? I'm putting you on timeout for 10 minutes because first of all, we're not doing that. You're not going to sit here and say, am I dumb? You're not going to sit here and call me dumb. You're not going to sit here and call anybody else dumb. We're not doing that, first of all. Do not even remotely think that because somebody disagrees with you, you can start to just, especially over fucking anime of all things, something as subjective as an opinion on Ultra Instinct. You're going to call somebody dumb for that? Yeah, no, fuck no. I'm not doing that. Yeah. Observation Haki and Ultra Instinct do not work in the same way, by the way. Observation Haki is a form of precognition by being able to predict the next move that your opponent is going to do. Ultra Instinct works through sheer reaction time by having your body move on its own. You are not thinking about the fight. You're not even really thinking about your opponent. Your body is moving on its own. Observation Haki doesn't make your body move on its own, so A, they don't intrinsically do the same thing, and B, Goku has gotten over a lot of his issues with Ultra Instinct to begin with. At its worst now, it just is a massive stamina depleter, but that's kind of it. It doesn't even make him struggle. What I think people argue is more of a matter of stamina. Kaido had no pause, was constantly lifting up an island, which is debatable. No, it doesn't consume stamina. I mean, does any of that matter though? The whole island. Listen, first of all, the whole island. The whole holding up an island. The only reason why people say it has to deplete stamina is probably because of the Momonosuke stuff. Even though we know for a fact that utilizing a Devil Fruit for the first time, or truly utilizing a Devil Fruit and its abilities for the first time can be a lot more difficult than utilizing a Devil Fruit after you've mastered it to almost every extent possible besides maybe Awakening. We know that for a fact because we've seen many examples of characters throughout the series, and we can see even, for example, with someone like Luffy, what it's like to have the Devil Fruit from day one versus having the Devil Fruit on day one, or even a month into having his Devil Fruit versus having the Devil Fruit, or knowing how to utilize and master the Devil Fruit for over a decade, in this case with Kaido, multiple decades. Kaido never showed that holding up the island, and there's no statement that implies that holding up the island was affecting Kaido's stamina. You can say that as Kaido grew weaker, or as the fight went on, Kaido, the flame clouds were holding up the island less and less, but that doesn't directly mean that, Kaido was struggling to hold up the island, or Kaido, or holding up the island itself was depleting Kaido's stamina, right? Anyway, no statement implies that. None of that bullshit. Anyway, yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and say that if Kaido wasn't holding up an island, oh yeah, he would automatically have just a whole new burst of stamina that would help him fight or beat Luffy. It's really just that simple. I don't even want to know why I'm absorbing this shit. Yeah, they had zero effect on Kaido's stamina. Also, fighting multiple people throughout a night. Can we just go back to the whole conversation that I had before about every single person that fought Kaido? Every single person that had fought Kaido up until that point didn't even do as much damage as Advanced Conqueror's Haki Luffy. Round 3 specifically. No, we're not doing that. Why is Law not spamming Gamma Knives on every opponent? Ask him that. I don't fucking know. Dragon Ball characters, stamina in Dragon Ball is not strange. They just have bad stamina. In a series like this probably, you know what, this is one of those things where like people say X thing feels strange because in one series a characters might have insane stamina versus in other series characters don't. Like, let's look at the Tournament of Power as an example. The Tournament of Power literally was 48 minutes long and all of these characters were running out of juice. Or like all of the characters that like went all out from the start, they were already running out of juice. But like before halfway of its time even like was spent up, the Tournament of Power was 48 minutes long, and Goku was already out of stamina before the first fucking half. He was out of stamina multiple times. It's not weird to say Dragon Ball characters have dog shit stamina. If anything, it's kind of normal. You know what I mean? It really just depends on the story, in the same way with like Yu Yu Hakusho. My extent of Yu Yu Hakusho knowledge when it comes to like power scaling comes from like watching Six from Tokyo's videos on Yu Yu Hakusho. And I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. He even says it himself, like Yusuke could, if you go by calcs, Yusuke and Hiei and all these other guys, they can technically blow up a star. Like, if you go by calcs, Yusuke and some of the other characters from Yu Yu Hakusho basically have the power to, like, blow up entire stars. That, and you know what? I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. But at the same time, you know what else? You know what else he says? Yusuke has absolutely piss poor speed because he couldn't even catch up with a fucking minivan on the side of the road while pedaling with a bicycle. He had to pedal with a bicycle to try to catch up with the minivan, and he couldn't even catch up with it. Like, and even then, like, the better scales for, like, Yu Yu Hakusho, and again, he's going off of calcs, I don't know what statements the series had. I would assume that he probably would use something like that, considering his scaling style, but regardless, even he says, like, yeah, no, Yu Yu Hakusho's probably, like, in the Mach terms of speed. So yeah, like, they can blow up stars, but they don't even move close to the speed of lightning, let alone the speed of light. It's not a weird thing. It's just we're used to series like Dragon Ball or like One Piece or like Naruto or blah, 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 where the stronger a character is, the faster they would likely be, or they should logically be, but it's not the case. The stronger you are doesn't innately mean that you are faster, dude. In terms of Scrabble speed, sure. In terms of Yakin combat, not so much so. I could also agree with that. Listen, I don't know Yu Yu Hakusho scaling. If Yusuke Urameshi has like lightning speed, fucking combat speed, I agree. Gear 5 probably wins against, yeah. Like if you're talking about like Yusuke Urameshi at like the tippity top of the verse, and we're talking straight combat speed or reaction speed, and there's like a feat that says he can like dodge lightning, but he can't like travel at the speed of a minivan, I'd probably agree with you. I'd probably say, yeah, that's the case. But even then, it's like, if the character really can blow up a fucking star, and you're saying, well, I still find it weird that he can't, like, move even as close to the speed of light, I don't know what to tell you at that point. That's just the scaling of the series, bro. That's really what it is. You know what I mean? I don't know. Oh, who would have guessed anime is not realistic? Yep. Ah, it is next to mountains. Fantastic. You know what's crazy? I can still just straight up argue Naruto can only blow up mountains. Yeah. How big is this Shibaku Tensei? I don't fucking know. Probably like what is it, like the Earth's crust at least? That's definitely not the Valley of the End. These trees are obviously not that big. Are these even actual mountains? I don't fucking know. Oh, we're back here. Because if a tailed beast bomb can blow this thing up, then I'm willing to say it is at least a mountain. Pain arc is city to mountain, maybe country. I'm not even going to go country. I would not say country. I would definitely not say country. Alright, I don't care about Naruto crying a dear old dad because of this shit. I realized the motivation to finish my video from a while ago because I wasn't interested in the matchup, so I'm scrapping Law versus Yamato and doing Asta versus Goku and why Asta wins. That'd be interesting. I'd be down to promote that on the channel. How does current Luffy in Gear 4 compare to Kaido? I'd say you could probably give Kaido a really good fight. I don't know if he beats Kaido, Only because there's kind of nothing that Gear 4 has currently done that would make me think so. I mean, I think that Gear 5 and Gear 4 are just fucking worlds apart in terms of power, but that's... It's kind of it. Let me see something real quick. If both of your shuriken miss, you lose. How? I've got an idea. Grabs, kicks pain away, slams him to a rock. The lout. He reverse tracked me using Sage mode. I found him. Throw. What? It was a shadow shuriken. The enemy fucked the scale of this fight so much. Yup. This is a cool pick. Well, 5/6 of it is cool. Covers. There we go. Okay. Pain. There we go. Gotta love that Sakura hate. Yep. Oh, shit. Sure. Makima versus Sanji. Makima, any woman, any character with 2X chromosomes beats Sanji 10 times out of 10. Konan kind of bad. Yeah. And that's like the best thing I can say about her. Because she couldn't even kill fucking Obito. Ah, that's so mad. That's so mean. Alright. Okay, we're making some good time. We're making some really good time. The crater they made of the whole fucking village looked like it's 20 meters wide. Really? That sucks. Sukuna destroys everything in this mid-ass series, including Shibai. True! I don't know about that, but yeah. Okay, I don't need anything here. Yeah. Yeah. Sanji is a future ACOC user. I don't know if I would be okay with that. I don't know. Something about that doesn't... I would need a proper reason as to why Sanji's getting advanced Conqueror's Haki, because he doesn't have the aspirations of a king. But yeah, I was chatting with her yesterday. I was chatting with my lady friend yesterday, and we were basically saying, like, I was basically just telling her, like, you know, if I had to be honest, like, Sasuke versus Luffy is probably an even worse matchup, simply because Sasuke versus Luffy would be a worse matchup because his most powerful jutsu, his objectively speaking most powerful jutsu, could quite literally be grabbed by Luffy and just thrown right back. Are you gonna bring up the solar system bullshit? Yeah. I'm gonna talk about a few different metas. I'm gonna essentially bring up that, like, the Naruto universal stuff, and I'll essentially say, like, listen, you can believe if Naruto's universal, even though nothing within the context of the actual narrative, the characters, or any of the feats match up with the characters blowing up entire universes. I'll talk about the ETSO and how, well, for one, you know what? I'm gonna just say it. One second. I'm gonna just say this. I know that this is gonna kind of sound crazy, but, like, well, at least crazy to some of you. I don't know. Oh, I did save this. I'll just bring it up here. This fuck-ass jutsu, right? The ETSO, right? This fuck-ass jutsu. This thing doesn't expand that quickly to begin with. Oh, the solar system bullshit with JJK. Probably not. I don't know what solar system shit we're talking about. Oh. Fair enough. You're not the main character? My bad. Shit. My bad for not checking. By the way, ETSO. This thing does not expand that quickly. Does anybody else notice that? This thing does not expand that quickly. Like, in the matter of these guys all having this conversation, charging at Kaguya and doing all of these things, that it didn't expand in the slightest bit. At least I don't recall this thing getting any big. Like, if it does expand, it must be like the slowest fucking world, the smallest fucking expansion of all time, dude. Is a really easy to counter because it takes like 10 years to charge up. It's not even about it taking 10 years to charge up. It just expands very slowly, man. Oh no. Damn, Kakashi's dad got a chance to talk to him. There is a scan going around that says Gojo can blow up the solar system with Hollow Purple. I have no idea where that comes from, though. Yeah, same. Get ready. Huh? You're all healed up? Yeah, we're heading to Kono, huh? Pain would be taken out. We gotta let Toby know. And that's it. So what are we gonna do? Konon's not coming back here. We need more pawns to synchronize with the ghetto statue again. Kisame, go track down the A-Tails. I've got some business to take care of. Sigh. Political shit. Okay, we're gonna, from here on out, we're probably gonna do a new thing, and we're gonna do everything between, because I'll probably just end the pain arc there. So from here, we'll do Pain Itachi arcs, covers, content. No, there we go. Naruto. Where is Land of Iron? Or did I put everything in pre-war arc? Water 7, NES lobby. This goes here. I could think I could do everything in pre-war arc. That's fine. Okay. Hey girl, don't think that way. You're worth more than you know. You can do anything you want as long as you follow through. I know your daddy told you. Your teacher did the same. They told you that you have to fit, but you don't fit that frame. Alright. Think that way, you're worth more than you know. It's not your beauty that I'm vibing on, it's your creative soul. You see things so differently, you open up my mind. Alright. Talk about how Go to Gear 5 is, like the anime is cooking. By the way, I'm also caught up with the manga. Nice, yeah. Don't take me lightly, I have... How did you know where I was? I have powers. What do you mean? Taka has left the Akatsuki. We have no more business with you. I warned you you would die if you betrayed the Akatsuki, and you have broken your pact with me. What are you talking about? The Biju hunt. We already captured and handed over the A-Tail, so that was a substitution. In short, you blundered. A-Tails has pulled a fast one on you. Honestly, you've disappointed me. But I was watching with the Sharingan the whole time. There shouldn't have been an opportunity for him to create a doppelganger. It must have been when I sliced off that tentacle. So what do you want? Our business anymore. I disagree. You will complete the job you were assigned, though I won't be the A-Tails. I've decided to carry out a different mission. And what if we decline? Then you will battle it out here, and you will not be able to go to Konoha. Push through. It's a little too late to go to Konoha. I passed through him, just like before. Is this one of his talents? Your objectives seem so futile now, it's sad. Danzo is Hokage, that's right. One of the Konoha elders got back. He's become the new Hokage. My underling, Pain destroyed Konoha, and thanks to both Pain, maybe the 5 shadows are convening. Allow me to explain. Yeah. Really, we'll get to guide you. What are we gonna do if our Danzo's our plan? The Naruto defeated Pain all by himself. That's right, he's become extremely strong. In fact, I think he's stronger than Sasuke. I don't care about that. What about problem? What problem is this Hokage summit? Shouldn't we head there? Taka will take the Hokage's head at the summit and change the destination. So where's the Hokage summit? Damn, Gaara really had the drip. Holy shit. And this is definitely not like good. This is definitely not like a decent travel wear for where they're going. Specifically Land of Iron. Whatever. Good afternoon, Drake. How you doing? Or I guess it is morning for you. What's up, man? How you doing? That went well. Nagato using the Gato Rebirth, such things. And if Sasuke surpasses Nagato, it's mainly we can't control him, so I have no intention of linking him to the Gato statue anytime soon. It would be wise just to keep an eye on him. I can't believe you actually foreseen the possibility of Nagato my dad as a precaution, but we've definitely fallen off my ideal path thanks to Uzumaki Naruto. He's caused our plans to shift. What then do we go? We're doing, moving on ahead. Put a rush on Project Suki no Me. Alright. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I imagine. It's like 3, you guys are what, 4 hours behind. Right? No, not 4 hours. You guys are 3 hours behind. Yeah. Masks are forbidden. Remove I've decided. You two shall be max are decided. What level of arms are allowed for your protection? Do not concern yourself with limitations. I trust your discretion. Torune, subordinates, keep an eye on Naruto. Yes, sir. Okay. Okay. What the fuck are these? What's the point of that? Okay. Yeah, Naruto got fucked up by Choji's future wife. I would have loved to have known how the fuck that actually came around. How that came to be. Okay. I don't think I need any of this. We will proceed. Yeah, they really all just squared up with each other as soon as they got fucking upsetty spaghetti. What's up, partial expansion jutsu? Yeah, fair enough. I have an explanation, 3 words, partial expansion. Yeah, wow. Man, I'm so glad you guys are so in tune with one another. Okay. Let's see. So what was Danzo's plan here? Show up, hope to mind control the other Kages, and then profit? Yeah, pretty much. But, you know, it doesn't work on me. Get your hands on Naruto that easily. Did you just hear my line? My last line, didn't you? No attacks at work against Uchiha Madara, so you are. I mean, you're not. You're definitely not wrong. Okay. Alright, water style, lightning style, yeah. Flash pillar. Flash pillar, then we go here. Do you think it's going to show that the only girl that was thirsting over Naruto instead of Sasuke is the one with the X-ray vision? That is a very good point. That is a very good point. It's fine, randomish. Listen, I'm never gonna say here that like somebody. Let me just be clear with like everybody else. I don't tolerate, you know, people insulting each other over stupid, you know, little things like, oh, we're talking anime here, therefore, you know, you gotta like insult other people. We're fine. I believe in second chances. I believe it or not, I think that people, you know, given the circumstance, because I think it is also depending on certain circumstances. But something like this, I feel like it's completely fine. You know, you're not in trouble. Nobody's upset or mad or anything like that. You know what I mean? Let's just really respect each other. You know what I mean? Are you saying she knew something we didn't? I mean, yeah. Listen. All I'm saying is Hinata clearly has a type. And the fact that she has X-ray vision does not inherently mean that she was checking out Naruto or anything like that. I don't know if it's really something that's taught within the context or yeah. Listen, all I'm saying is I don't know if it's taught necessarily within the context of like the fuck, what are they called? Hyuga, the Hyuga clan. Right. I'm thinking like Byakugan, I'm thinking like Byaku Yakuchiki, and I just kind of brain farted on the name. Listen, I don't think at least within the context of the Hyuga clan, I'm not exactly gonna sit here and say like, you know, whether or not they teach their youngins the moral standard of not looking at people with their X-ray vision. I think that that's probably something that they try to like get through to them early young. I have nothing to back it up. I would only hope so. I have at least those levels of hope in humanity, but you know, it do be like that sometimes, guys. Also, I've got new scaling for this feat right here with the Raikage. I've got new scaling for like the Raikage thing. I know that some of you believe that like the Raikage has to be light speed before this specific feat right here, but nothing about this feat implies that he is light speed. Nothing about this feat whatsoever implies that he's light speed. Like people like to use this comparison between like this feat and then a feat that pops up like way later on, not way later on, like a chapter or two down the line where the the Laser Circus feat pops up. where the laser Zerka's feet is essentially popping up, and these characters are basic, you know, like the basic argument here is, well, the Raikage perception blitz is Sasuke, therefore he must be FTL or light speed or whatever, even though Sasuke also doesn't have any light speed scaling, and by the time that Sasuke does get like his quote-unquote light speed scaling, it's actually around this specific point in time right here, where he's also getting attacked by multiple people, which, might I remind you, in both cases, neither Sasuke, neither against the Raikage or against these guys that Sasuke actually avoid the hit, he just made a larger Susanoo. Really, Naruto early on was always felt best at doing taijutsu, despite being more of a brawler early at least. Naruto as a kid and a teen, he was likely pretty fit. Yeah, to be honest, Eon, she used the times where they want her to use the Byakugan to look at this, especially Naruto's. Alright, fair enough. Get the Byakugan, see several kilometers away. That the X-ray vision, that with the X-ray vision, it must be really creepy to have a stalker from the Hyuga clan. Yeah, it probably would be very creepy. What do you think about the video topic of Naruto and switching Luffy fights? Naruto probably doesn't make it past these blue. I don't know, man. I don't see how Naruto gets past Don Krieg if he gets hit with a 2-ton spear explosive. Like, I don't know, man. A 1-ton spear, a 2-ton spear, like, listen, the fact is, I don't know how Naruto takes that much force while it also explodes right on top of him. Especially without a quantifiable feat to make me believe Naruto would do it. Lord of the Seas. Lord of the Coast, yeah. Sasuke was a bit of an asshole for this. He literally just drops Karin right afterwards. He's also, like, crashing out, like, little by little. Was it Coast? I'm washed. I wouldn't say you're washed per se, but yeah. From start to end, I don't know, man. So we're already talking a lot about like Naruto versus Luffy, Naruto versus Luffy, Naruto versus Luffy. Like now I have to switch up all of their fights. That's a lot, dude. That could be a video for the future. But again, I kind of want to like just take a step back from it. I'm not saying it's a bad idea, just it's not something that I necessarily want to talk about right now. People stay switching up on part 2 Chainsaw Man. Elion is next. This shit has always been peak. People are just now realizing it. Listen, I get why people at times call Chainsaw Man peak. I've never thought of it as peak. I can maybe understand where some people's perspective might come from. There's a lot of reasons why people call it that. But like, I'm sorry, dude. There was like a good point within the second portion of within like the second half of Chainsaw Man where I was like, this story literally feels like it's going nowhere. And I was reading that shit weekly, bro. It's not peak at every single instance, in the same way that One Piece isn't peak at every single instance. I don't know, dude. Chainsaw Man is not peak, or at least it's not peak all the time, in my opinion. There was definitely like at least a good 3 to 6 months where I was just telling myself, and I was even having a conversation with my friend's wife. She because she also I think she actively reads it till this day, and we were just and like, you know, she and I don't talk to each other that often, but she and I, like, whenever I went to their place, I was like, no, she was like, so have you been keeping up with like Chainsaw Man? I was like, yeah, I don't know what's happening. She was like, yeah, I don't know either. It just feels like Asa and like Denji are just kind of just going nowhere with it. Like, it really did feel like the story was just going nowhere. I've ever thought about doing lists like top 10 OP. No, I don't like doing lists like that. I feel like that's very, I don't know. It's like very simple content that, like, I don't know. It just doesn't. I don't care for it at this point. It's not the type of content that I care for at this point. I do check out like one guy in my entire like YouTube subscription list where like he brings it up sometimes, but man, I would be lying to you if I said I even checked out his videos. I don't think it's slop. I don't think that kind of video content is slop. And that comes from someone who, like, I do watch quite a bit worth of slop. But yeah, no, it's not. I don't know, man. Just not for me. Let's see. Oh yeah, somebody brought up yesterday how fast they think particle style is. Oh yeah, like, oh yeah, Sasuke has to be like really fast, or Obito has to be like really fast because of like particle style. Yeah, how fast is particle style? I don't fucking know. The first time we ever see it is this moment right here. Oh, he caught them with it. Well, they teleported away. Okay. What can I tell you? What could I possibly tell you from that? I even told you like a year ago that Chainsaw Man is cooking. Just give it some time. Yeah, but when I give it multiple months and it wasn't cooking and then it's cooking right afterwards, dude, you can't. I think that like it's at least fair for me to say that, like, you know, it's understandable as to why, like, even if it is cooking, I kind of just don't want to go back. I don't know. There was not like, I don't even know really what it was about Chainsaw Man that like pulled me in. I think there were just portions of me that were like, okay, I see where like the story goes with this. I thought that like I thought that Genji's whole shtick or his whole spiel was like fine for the most part. You know, guy is like super down bad, but like even going into like the second portion of the series, especially after the whole like Makima arc, I'm like, yo, this guy is just constantly looking depressed and gloomy. Like, I'm just so over it, man. I don't know. Requires a good bit of charge up, mattering how big it is. I don't know. I'm aware that it requires charge up. I'm completely aware of that. But like, you know, what do I want me to say? How fast is it? I don't fucking know. Shit. I like how the Raikage walked in here and then probably who is on top in current One Piece. Seems a pretty popular discussion. Give it take some time. You just don't form it like slop. Maybe. Very well written. I never said he wasn't a well-written character. I'm just tired of seeing him fucking depressed, dude. I don't literally like it. I understand the plot of the story. I understand everything that Denji has gone up through up until like where I stopped. I get all of it. It's just like to a certain point, man. The series is just depressing. I don't know what to tell you. Chainsaw Man or Bleach? Chainsaw Man. Like with Chainsaw Man, I can say that there is a portion of time where I just wasn't enjoying it. Yeah, like that's really it. If I don't want to see it, like, that's basically it. Like I don't mind characters being depressed, but it's like, dude, after a certain point, I'm just tired of it. I just don't want to see a character constantly going back and forward with it for multiple chapters on end. That's really what just consistently fucking happens, dude. I don't know. Like, I really don't know what to say about that, man. It's just a consistent stream of Denji being depressed, Denji being depressed, Denji being depressed, Denji being depressed, Denji being depressed for like multiple chapters on end, and he's just trying to find a way to like go through it. And I'm just like, dude, fuck, man. Like, I get like there needs to like some like I understand the whole idea of like characters need a certain levels of build up. I like the idea of build up, but like it just takes for fucking ever. It just felt like, at least when it was coming out weekly, that I was just like, dude, I can't keep going through with this. We all know the real reason you dropped it was because you couldn't goon to Makima anymore. I've never gooned to Makima. I don't know. Makima doesn't do it for me. Maybe it's the fact that she's a devil. Maybe it's the fact that she has like no emotions on her face. She just doesn't. No. Makima does nobody in Chainsaw Man does anything for me. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine because we were talking about like with the movie when it had just come out. He was telling me about how weird he found that so many people were gooning to Reze, and I'm like, I mean, all things considered, right? Like all things considered, I'm not saying that like I would personally goon to Reze, but I told him, I'm like, dude, I don't know if we've talked about this before. I don't know if we've already had a stream on this, but I'm like, dude, Reze is a cute girl with purple hair that wears a bun that has a bun or ponytail or whatever the fuck you want to call it, and she wears a choker. Especially when it's well animated. I don't know, man. If she was like the whole point of like her first, or like the arc that she's introduced in, she's basically like an instant pick me for someone like Denji. Of course people are gonna fucking like her. Like the design is right there, and he was like, but I feel like a lot of people don't realize that, like, you know, she's 16 or whatever. And I'm like, dude, yes, that is weird, but like, I'm pretty sure people just like the design. I'm not trying to like defend anything. I'm just saying I'm pretty sure people just like the design at the end of the day. I don't know, dude. Like the people, I think actually no, we did speak about this because somebody brought up, I think somebody brought up like somebody gooning in the middle of like the movie theater to Rezi, and that shit is just like a lack of self-control at that point. That's just a person being fucking ill, bro. But like, I don't know. Chainsaw Man, like, I've seen the designs for the women and shit like that. Like, I could maybe understand why some people like it. I don't personally give a shit about any of the character designs, let alone the female designs. Chainsaw Man was never a series that I read, at least at the time that I was reading it, because of the character designs. I can't even really say I like the art style, let alone I like the author's or whoever the fuck the artist is, I can't even say they have good action panels. Like, out of every anime that I've ever read or every manga that I've read, Chainsaw Man has the worst action panels I have ever seen. They don't look like they're actually running, and they don't look like they're actually moving. They look so stiff, dude. Oh no, I'm expecting from a guy who doesn't jork it to Tsunade. I never said I didn't jork it to Tsunade. I just said Tsunade's got that old pussy. Oh, the guy who jumped at the theater? Yeah. Bro was wildin'. Yeah, dude, like, listen, man, I don't know what to say. There's some, like, listen, I get Rezi has a cute design or whatever, but I don't know, man. I've seen plenty of movies in my life. I've seen plenty of animated movies. I've never just told myself, oh yeah, in the middle of a movie theater, oh yeah, you know. I don't think the average person thinks to themselves, oh yeah, I've got a goon to this character in the middle of this fucking public movie theater. What kind of a sick degenerate does that at that point? Check your last comment. My bad. Denji hasn't been depressing. He's been going through a bunch of mini character arcs in his man. I get that, Six. Listen, I get that, man. I don't give a shit, dude. It's mostly depressing from everything that I remember. It was mostly depressing. You've watched more of it than I have, so it probably stopped being depressing. But up until the points where like the series really started up, it was Denji with his like new little sister, the Makima 2. Denji with his little sister Makima 2. Then some shit happens. Denji can't be Chainsaw Man. Denji's fucking depressed about not being Chainsaw Man. Then the world is asking for Chainsaw Man. Then he can't be Chainsaw Man again or some shit. Like, I don't know, man. That shit was so fucking boring, dude. Like, there was legitimately a point in time within the context of the story that Denji just feels like he's just going nowhere. And, like, I get the idea of, like, letting something cook or letting something, like, build up so that way we as characters can have, so that you can then eventually have, like, a turnover for the character. Because, again, they have many ups and downs. They have their ups and downs. But, dude, I don't know, man. It just took too long for me. Sometimes there's also such a thing as, like, a little bit too much of something. And I think for me, it was like there's just a little too much of like Denji being depressed throughout the second half of it for me to really say if I like it or not. Drop the act. We all know you were the first to bark when Makima came out. No, the fuck I was not, dude. I really wasn't. Actually, I got to Chainsaw Man, I think like a year after people were already in on it. And I really only read the manga. I watched like the first episode with a friend. I think I checked out a couple more episodes. And then I was like, yeah. And I think it wasn't until like later towards the end of 2023 when I was like, all right. I'll probably read through Chainsaw Man. I read it for a good portion of 2024 up until like the second half of the shit, and then I was like, okay, you know, I'm done with this. I gave it a chance. I think you should catch back up because Denji has gotten through his mini arcs and has a set mindset. That's fine. Again, it is what took me down, but it is what kept me away from the series. But it's like I don't know if I care enough to like go back, dude. Chainsaw Man, I don't even know what really was it about Chainsaw Man that kind of like pulled me in. I think I just like the idea of like, oh, this kid's a total gooner. It's kind of funny, and then I don't know. It went from funny to just being sad. I don't know. I don't have enough investment in Chainsaw Man to say I really care about the series enough to want to pick it back up, but I may pick it back up. But yeah. I don't know, dude. People out here are weird. People out around the world are fucking weird, man. I don't know what to say. Also, this was pretty fucking, like, raw for Sasuke. Of course, you found the Gooner relatable. When the fuck did I say I found the Gooner relatable? I guess. You need to binge it. Part 2 is slower pacing and the chapters are smaller due to health reasons. It should be binged for a better experience. I believe it. I believe it. There's just no part of me. There isn't a single bone, a single cell, a single iota of my person, whether it's mentally, physically, or spiritually, and I don't really believe in the spirituality of it. There's nothing about me that wants to go back into that series right now. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying it can't be the case in the future, but you guys are genuinely barking at deaf ears right now. You guys are genuinely trying to convince someone who has no intention of going back into the series until something about it like piques my interest again, and the scaling is not going to be it. I don't watch series for scaling. Let me make that very clear. If you think a series has very good scaling, I'm not going to check it out because of the scaling. There has to be something about it that makes me want to stick to it, because at the end of the day, I don't check series out just for scaling. What's up, Zod? I don't check series out just for the sake of scaling. You know what I mean? I check series out because, you know, there is something about them that makes me want to look at them. With Chainsaw Man, I look back at it, there really was just nothing. Like, when I recall back to it, like, the joke was kind of over. It was, I think I can say it was mostly because out of curiosity, and I just kind of kept with it. I don't know, man. Who's winning so far? Who's winning what? Feed Enjoyer, alright. Bleach Reader, 24/7 Gunner, yeah. CSM Critique ain't doing it, yeah. Darkness Devil coming back for a bit. Would that get you interested? The Darkness Devil didn't even have me interested the first time. I literally just kept thinking to myself for a good portion of time, what the fuck is happening in Chainsaw Man? Especially when, like, we had, like, that whole scene with, like, the lady that can essentially beat everybody on Earth in a fist fight and, like, the whole Falling Devil shit. I remember reading through that and I'm just like, dude, I am kind of lost in what's happening. Maybe it was because I was reading it week to week. Oh, on Naruto versus Luffy? Luffy beats him at almost every single turn. Like, Naruto doesn't start to fight Luffy again until, like, KCM 2. I don't think I'm going into the next portion of the fight with Luffy until, like, KCM 2, dude. This is why I read Fairy Tail. It doesn't just have scaling. It also has Gooner bait. Yeah, but that speaks more on you when you're reading on a series specifically for the fucking Gooner bait, and I'm not. That's crazy. The stream has been about this one fight. What fight are you guys talking about? Well, the whole thing has been about One Piece, Naruto versus Luffy, but yes, I suppose. Why am I even downloading this shit for Sasuke? Why the fuck am I looking through any of this? None of this matters. Yeah, just binge. That's all we've been doing since week to week, and it's been torture. By the way, never ever read Web Central Chainsaw Man comments. No, I don't read comments in this dog-ass website anyway. I don't think you have to worry about that. I never read the comments. Funny is it that Danzo likely died knowing his final move failed to kill Sasuke. Likely died knowing his final move failed to kill Sasuke? It's pretty fucked, I'm not gonna lie to you. To be fair, it is pretty funny because Danzo deserves every bit of it. The guy does not have a cool design. He does not have, like, he has an interesting design. I don't know if I would say Danzo is cool. He has a very hacksy toolkit, but, like, I don't know, man. Sasuke looks so fucking disheveled. What's your take on manga website comment sections? I don't have a take because I don't ever really look at them. I never look at them. I'm going to be real with you. Most comments aren't better. Like, listen, I have to already read through a vast majority of my own comment section. I really do read through, like, a vast majority. Do you care about Kagurabachi? I do. Kagurabachi, at least to me, like, is alright. But, like, even Kagurabachi lately, I'll be honest with you. Let me pull it up real quick. Kagurabachi. Yeah. Even Kagurabachi, I genuinely can say, when was the last time I read a chapter? This is probably the last chapter. This is probably the last chapter that I read. Everything else after this, I haven't read for Kagurabachi. From like 97 up, I just haven't been reading it. I've just been clicking through the panels, just looking at pictures. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't know what anybody said. I'm just sort of out of it as well. What's your previous comment? Prefer Fire Punch to CS Man. Fujimoto's art style is overrated and the assistant's hard carries because the background art is amazing, but the characters are soullessly static, in my opinion at least. Fair enough. Excited for the full video. Watching Six and Seth Naruto videos makes it seem he's at end of series at least. Naruto be planetary, but for sure I can't remember these points, but it's accurate. Was it this video? I don't mind checking out a video on like Six's scaling. Naruto's ninjutsu is unbeatable. We'll check out a couple videos. We'll check out a couple videos after this. What actually counters do you see Naruto having for Luffy's rubber physiology? Basically just the Rasen Shuriken. Maybe the TSO, but... There's one saying Naruto is planetary. It comes from the Boruto statement specifically, and I'm only going up to the top 700 chapters of Naruto. I'm not doing Boruto yet. I only pulled up the 6 stuff. Don't worry about it. I told you guys. Last time I checked out Seth's content, it was like a random video that popped up for me. I clicked on it and I was like, sure, let me watch through it. I'm not really gonna sit here and say I support the channel or anything. I don't know. What a random fucking feat of Kishimoto having Sasuke do this. Just hitting a giant bear. Cool. You took Shizui's eye before he died. This takes forever. Did you see the thing I sent you last night in DMs about the infinite Tsukuyomi? No, not that. This is infinite Tsukuyomi stuff. This is this. Oh, right. Looks like that black guy is unaffected. That's right. I did see this. I did see this. Yeah, apparently black guys, they're not affected by the infinite Tsukuyomi. Apparently they're just not. Oh yeah, okay, so infinite number of infinite universes. You see, within books, you can find an infinite array of worlds. Here, get a load of this. The most bizarre creatures: a man-eating, man-faced lion. After Blackbeard's attack on Impel Down 2 years ago, this manticore escaped the underwater prison. This one is prized. This one is one of my prized possessions. A unicorn. Ain't it beautiful? Well enough that. But it's living inside the book. With anything within a book is eternally ageless. Only makes sense, right? The contents don't change each time you open pages. It's power of my son Montour. I've got some rare specimens all over the world in these pages. Incredible. Create. The book that invites you to a world of books with his infinite imagination. Montour's imagination is stated to be infinite. Body paragraph. The 19th son of the Charlotte family who ate the book fruit, capable of using his ability in many ways, such as creating isekais, jailing those into books themselves, using his imagination, using books as scaffolds, writing down battle plans in current battle situations. The kanji here is isekai, which means parallel or different world. This means Montour creates world of books through his imagination. We're saved. Why do I feel like I've been through this before? Sorry about that. Only way to escape Montour's book is to burn them. Hey, admit it. You're ripping off my arms. Jim, are we supposed to first meeting prison was? Just look at other prisoners were kept inside the book. The imagination and span of the world of books is infinite. Big Mom has many powerful followers. Are only as strong as the person using them. Yo, Six, thank you so much for this statement, because now I can definitively say Whitebeard is... now I can definitively say Whitebeard is planetary. Are you sure you understand? That's a month's worth of food for me. You better replace every single morsel. I'm going to have to have a problem. I can't believe he's carrying so much food around. My swamp is bottomless. That is your shrink back is happening in case. Oh, yeah. Well, it really said multi-con. This is a lot more than that. Devil fruits are concluded by Vegapunk to be possible human evolutions people wish for. The word evolution implies devil fruits evolve the user instead of granting them a specific ability, which logically means a devil fruit user scaled to their devil. He says possible human evolution someone wished for. It is a possibility for human evolution that someone desired. It could be if I were like this, if only I could be like that. All these powers represent the many branches of future of humanity, but that unattainable status is loathed by the sea. The mother punishes. Those powers exist in different dimensions, dreamed by someone else before them. Vegapunk explains that Paramecia type users' bloodline elements are what causes them to have powers, which adds credence to the whole evolution idea and proves that Paramecia users at least scale through the devil fruit since the power is a part of the body down to their DNA. I tried everything I could think of with Logias, but they proved too difficult. For Paramecia, however, I found that as long as you have the user's bloodline elements, you can synthesize and administer a special kind of blood to confer those powers to the user. It's like liquid running through their arms. You made your own blood. For Logias, it's pretty simple as to how the user scales to the fruit. If Logias or straight up turns the user into said element, it allows them to control them as a part of their body. Anyone who has eaten a fruit Anyone who has eaten a fruit of this type can become an element like fire, ice, lightning. While in this state, they can act independently from the limits of their corporeal bodies. Physical attacks are ineffective against individuals in this form, meaning that one of the counters with elements, weakness, or hockey. Or hockey coding, right? You may be smoked, but on fire. We're too evenly matched to settle this now. For Zoan users, straight up gains power to transform into a specific animal, thereby gaining the power of the animal and that animal becoming a part of the user and completely changing it. Zoans even have the will of their own and can take over your body if you aren't strong enough. Zoan users are also tied directly to the user's life force, with Gear 5 being the perfect example. Ox fruits. We can't hit him. He's too fat. I'll spare no one, not even my own soldiers. With that power, like a hurricane, that's a devil fruit of the Zoan category. Lets you transform into animals. How wild. What you've seen is you got, just like Dalton, you get stronger with each transformation. Jumping point, but you stand no chance against me. It's more like flying. We've seen the battle. The Nika fruit, yep. Dying. Wow, it takes a lot of energy. I was dying before. Yeah. Even if you try to deny the evolution scaling in the statement, which there's no really reason to, Zoan objectively scaled to the user. Logically, Paramecia would too. I proved explanations and evidence to end up misinterpreted. So just so you don't end up using the misinterpreted Alabasta statement in the video. I mean, I can't always just use the Alabasta statement. I don't know why I would misinterpret it. If anything, a devil fruit's powers, it's not really something that could be misinterpreted. How can you misinterpret the Alabasta statement? Can you explain that to me, Six? And why it affects the Raikage is because he isn't black. He's not really a good tan. Like, he's just got a really good tan. That's crazy. I don't think he gets to that point. What is the relationship between power being part of their DNA and scaling to AP? Well, the fact that a character A states it right here. Devil fruit powers are only as strong as the person themselves. Cool. B, every devil fruit is a possibility for human evolution that someone desires. If only I could be like this. If only I could be like that. All of these powers represent the many branches of future of humanity. But that unnatural status is loathed by the mother of the sea. A fitting punishment for its sin. Those with powers exists in a different dimension dreamed up by someone else before them. It's only my theory, yeah, but it's usually backed. But usually theories, at least within a scientific sense, are backed up by actual evidence. Like, in science, you can't really disprove science by saying, well, it's just a theory. You have to be able to provide a theory of your own. And this is coming from, like, the smartest man in all of One Piece, objectively speaking. Or at least to state he has the best brain in the world. I don't know, man. What exactly makes me believe that what exactly makes me believe that Naruto can blow up a fucking island just because he blows up a mountain? I don't know, man. I got the Alabasta statement. I don't get the rest. How is a power being part of your body means it scales to your attack potency? Because it's literally a part of you. It's not just hacks at that point. Hockey's also straight up being stronger than negating devil fruits. The world is convenient. Is convenient that way. Roger didn't have. Only because of hockey can transcend them all. We can break through with powers. Can't withstand intention of hockey. Yeah. That power's pretty sweet, creamy. Once that cream sweep right over ya, you're bound to flesh right out here, huh? Where am I? Ha ha ha, the world of books, welcome. Dodge, Luffy. Nami, watch out. Okay, if you want, I can grab scans for the multi. I don't need the multi plus one piece, but this should be enough, especially if you're going over it briefly. Yeah, this should be enough. Chakra is a part of you as well, right? But your chakra quantity doesn't exactly equate to your overall power output, right? Yeah. Start using facts and don't give some universe energy power, which means hockey works outside. Wonder if Vegapunk tried putting more than one devil fruit into a seraphim. That would have been an interesting thing. Probably Lilith will try to make up that claim. Or maybe York. Okay. The Alabasta statement in its context, it means it just means in the Alabasta, it means you're using your devil fruit better. Let me see. What page is this? Open link. Okay, now it's just a web IMP. Okay, so what chapter would that be in? It would have to be past 180. What is like 200? Chapter 2 something. What does Luffy do again? Okay, let's go back. I think I went past it. Oh. What good is it if you can't hit me? Even if it's wet, my palm can suck the moisture out of anything. Damn, I forgot about that trick. You said it yourself, devil fruit powers are only as strong as the person using them. I've worked hard to develop my devil fruit powers. I can use them to make any weapon, unlike you foolish who are satisfied with their powers as they are. I continually condition myself and improve my skills. No, that implies that this devil fruit does scale to the user. Kaguya's bones turn people into dust. That doesn't really mean she scales to them. I don't really get the correlation between power being a part of you. Yeah, because it's different it's different between series, bro. In the same way that somebody says, well, you really expect me to believe that a ki blast from Goku is supposed to blow up a universe just because he was able to punch one out like years ago. It doesn't matter if Goku's new base is equal to Universal. If he shoots out a ki blast that is allegedly more powerful than the punches he threw against Beerus, you really expect me to believe that it's as powerful as a universe, even though, I don't know, it only blows up a stone. It's the same thing, dude. You cannot use the same logic for every single series. Every single series has its own specific kind of logic. I can make the argument that devil fruits do scale to the user, but with things like Naruto with hacks, like the all-killing Ash Bone, the TSO, etc., those are specifically hacks. In the same way that you can argue that if Montdor doesn't actually scale, in the same way that you can argue, not Montdor doesn't actually scale, but in the same way that you can argue that Montdor's ability to create those infinite arrays of books are just hacks, because it's not his. Because they are hacks. Sorry. They're almost objectively proves devil fruit scale to the user. Yeah, this is just a comparison to the last scan that you put up. So like you couple this with this statement right here. You couple both of these statements. Oh, no, it's my browser. Once you couple both of these statements together, yeah, it kind of does imply that devil fruits do sort of scale to their hacks. I can't use the same logic for Naruto that I can use for One Piece, because that's like saying, well, Eon, you're saying that like if One Piece characters can focus, fuck, this is fucking me up. I'm just gonna close this. It's like saying, well, Eon, if you say that One Piece characters have the ability to manipulate their attack potency down to a single point because of what's his face, Bon Clay's statement earlier in this arc, that must mean that also. Let me see if I can find it. Where's the Bon Clay stuff? That's like making the argument that like, well, Bon Clay here and then Don Chinjao later state that like attacking things with monumental force in a single point doesn't cause extra damage. Essentially just implying that like One Piece characters can like focus their attack potency so they don't destroy large portions of areas. Why can't the same be said for Naruto? Because in Naruto, it's not explained. There isn't a character that says, if you focus all of your chakra to a single point and release it all at once, you can focus all of the damage into a single specific area, and then that way doesn't destroy everything. That's not the case. As a matter of fact, with a character like Sakura, for example, where it says she can focus all of her chakra to a single point, it usually causes mass levels of destruction. It's not inherently the same thing. I don't have an issue with devil fruit scaling to you. I just don't understand the argument for the genetic stuff. I don't care about the argument for the genetic stuff personally. It's not. I don't think I'm going to use that personally. I can bring it up. I'm not going to use it up. But it's just believe whatever you want to believe, dude. I don't know. I mean, it was obvious. The stronger you are, the stronger your powers. Yeah, but you know, Whitebeard apparently only has his devil. The only way that Whitebeard's devil fruit works is through its hacks. I don't know, man. At some point, the only thing I can really say is just, if it makes sense to you, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I don't know what to say, man. It's a lot of shit that it's like, I feel like for the most part, there is a lot of information here that like, I have to just be able to look through. Imagine Naruto, thank you, Team 7. Told you it was Ruth about Itachi. Older sister, shut up. Naruto was going through for you. No matter what bad things, you know what Naruto was going through for you. Siblings, little, felt unchanged, you'll cheat, huh? Exactly. I don't know. It's just a lot of information. Depends on what you mean by scale. If you mean that, like, you say Law scales to his hacks or ancient creation. Like, I don't think that, like, specific abilities like Law's devil fruit hacks or whatever. Well, actually, in Law's case, it actually does matter to AP because he couldn't actually move Big Mom or Kaido because I'm not arguing against it. I just don't understand it. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, dude. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know if I agree with the whole DNA stuff, but I don't know what to say in that regard. By killing all of you in Konoha, I'll be severing the bonds as ultimate purification. Unleash the true restoration. The true history repeated, accumulate. This is my task. Naruto, get yourself in this. Things you do. Sasuke cannot be killed with poisons dipped in kunai. He has Orochimaru's poison resistance. I'll keep this for myself. Our roles could have been reversed. Yeah. I don't know. Naruto tends to ignore the existence of speed formula. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. It's not my argument. How about this, Aster? Ask Six at him, and he can explain it to you because I don't personally know the scaling yet. This is the first time I've read it with you. I'm not. If you're not understanding it, I don't really understand like the line of scaling here. Besides, it's part of their DNA. It's intrinsically tied to their DNA. Therefore, it probably does scale to the user. I don't know what to tell you in that regard, other than, hey, man. Something about this probably correlates. The person that provided the scaling can probably give you a better line of scaling than me. I don't know, dude. I have to like find there's like so much shit here with like both stories that like I'm looking at some portions of this and I don't know, man. Has this research on how to change your mind? Some of the scaling has been changing little by little. Some of my scaling has been changing as I've been reading through all of this. I think that like if we both die, you won't be an Uchiha, and I won't be a Jinchuriki of the Ninetales. Final kill, you'll be the first one I kill. I want Itachi's eyes, yes. I don't... His cheek. You need to administer the antidote right away. You mean my poison tip kunai did this? I'm afraid so. I feel sick. Yeah. Okay. Did you record the battle Samehara took? Yeah, then it went all to leave it to Sasuke. This is yeah. So let me just explain my current thought process. Which inherently means they scale. Why does it inherently mean that they scale? I think I'll ask that question for Aster. It has changed my mind on some Sasuke scaling for end of series. Yeah. Also, Lapis, I'm sorry if I'm like asking you this again. What exactly about that Shibaku Tensei makes it moon scaling for Sasuke? Can you like explain that to me again? Cause like I get the whole like curvature and like the outer core, even though I don't see the outer core at all, but sure, mental, outer core, whatever. Like, what exactly about that is Sasuke's feat? Yeah. Yeah, please do. What exactly about that makes it Sasuke's specific feat? Dude, my nails are super long. Holy fuck. I'm getting to the point where like I'm almost like close to like just clipping it off myself. I hereby discuss. Here you are. Boom. You make me so happy with how you love my arthropod cooking. Get a manicure? It's only like 2 nails. It's really just like my thumbnail and my middle index fingernail. What am I doing here? I reverse summon ya, divine. I can remember ya in a dream. I could see it clearly. Those are those legs of an octopus afterwards. Okay, pre-war arc again. Pre-war arc. Chew them off. I have a bad habit of chewing my nails. My nails have actually kind of healed for the most part. They should all be fine. But yeah, no, I don't want to chew them off. Okay. Kids really don't understand devil fruits. Read my previous chat that the argument only works for awakenings. Why does it only work for awakenings? You want to provide that? I'm not saying you're wrong. I just clearly curious about this. It mainly just proves the evolutionary theory, but a devil fruit scaled to their users, so the users throughout not just the ability, but given to them, but power that is down to their DNA. I mean, the power can come from their DNA. I don't know how necessarily, like how Aster was asking, I don't necessarily understand how that, where would you Kanye West scale? He scales on the same level as racists. I don't know, and I don't really care. Let's see. Scaling to Kekkei Genkai, we're talking about ability. It's like scaling to Kekkei Genkai, we're talking about abilities inherent to DNA. I don't know exactly how a user scales to their Kekkei Genkai. Because there's clearly... One second. I don't know how Kimimaro necessarily scales to his own Kekkei Genkai. Because, like... Maybe like his bones increase his normal durability. I mean, the bones themselves necessarily increase his durability. I guess. They're really hard bones. I guess it depends. Is your body mind catching up to the devil fruit? But that doesn't mean devil fruit users don't scale to their devil fruits in terms of AP. The statement lacks context. Actually, the Telegram is continuously growing weaker, especially since I suppress it. I don't know if I need any of this. Hinata, 4th Kale. No use in getting depressed. I'm gonna conquer and control this thing, Dad. With this, I have a pretty good picture of Komogakuri's battle strength, precision and location. Attacks is doubtful. First stack of soaring eye battery scouts. In 3 days. Okay. Wider my mouth. Is really inside Joe or not? So I need to look for an octopus. First intel, Ninetales Jinchuriki, protect the war, too many risks, that is why we have been discussing the battle strength appropriately. Yeah. No. You know what? Let me do it like this, actually. I already got everything. Fuck me, man. Alright, whatever. Can an L beat Ace? I don't know. Probably not. It's just supporting evidence. Yeah, I agree. Haku could only move at light speed between his mirrors. He could, not did. It's also the product of the jutsu, to be fair. Oh, send the explanation in DMs. Appreciate it. Sure. Enka Tremulous and a rap beat. Enka rap. Supervisor Motoi. Stand down, King Chin. They're with me. Gorilla. It's a gorilla. It's a gorilla. Man, he's atop of the iron. This place is safe as long as he's here. Komoha is preeminent. Shinobi maintain the barrier around the island. We know immediately if anything approaches it. Shade's wearing pops. Someone only who's got these beasts under their control, but even Edo completely... Yeah. No way I came here. What is it? You don't know about Master B is unforgivable. Don't worry, Master B, we did the fist bump thing. Alright, Naruto along... Oh yeah, the waterfall stuff. Guest Donut wins. Wouldn't be Hakubi Lightspeed fall under hacks like Flying Raijin? Well, he can only move... I would argue yes, only because he can only move at the speed of light between the mirrors. Not outside of the mirrors, not anywhere else. Not from the mirror to the ground, from the mirror to the sky, from the mirror to the opponent. No, in between the mirrors, he can't move at the speed of light. So I would probably argue it's mostly hacks-based. Churiki have always been selected by close relations, yeah. Relations like Okage, siblings, or even spouse. And Jigiri's power protect the village and the shadows, and show off the shadows' powers. I believe Master Beast strove diligently to become a worthy Jinchuriki for the right Kage. Look at your last comment. How close is the power do you think Zoro and Sanji are? Close enough that they can fight each other seriously, but you can probably give it to Zoro in terms of just single strike hits. I don't know how exactly Zoro himself would be able to tank Sanji's heated kicks, considering that he was even mentioning the heat-based stuff from, like, King. I mean, Zoro did slice up those giant magma dragons. We can probably argue that Sanji's blue fire is hotter than it. I would say close enough. I would say they're relatively very close. I wouldn't say. I would say that Zoro and Sanji probably give each other at least a relatively high difficulty. Law is weird because Law isn't just hacks. He has to scale to his attack potency since he has to bypass people's haki. Fraud Row is nothing without Enma, aka Odin's residual haki. Manage to subdue. This is an important skin to have because he did chop off the arm. And to subdue it, back on the usual earn, there were casualties. However, despite the necessary to possess the A-tails, he had to maintain the power balance against the other A-tails. Worked in our favor, so the experiments went forward. That was my father. You lost your father to Master B. That's why Master B and I were friends. We were only 5 years old. When my father had died, and Cherokee for responsible for death, it was distracted and sealed. That was the previous Cherokee, but that was the tragedy. I was decided. B was selected to become the Jinchuriki. My hatred towards the A-tails never stopped growing. Master B always laughed. Hated him for not caring. Ultimately transferred. Yeah. So, Law is fucking with space. Sure. Zoro might be the one to cut down Blackbeard instead, probably. You got 75% performance boost if you have more than a medium amount of melanin in your skin. That is true. That is definitely true. As long as you can show Zoro the ancestry.com of his opponent, I'm pretty sure he'll get a 75% performance boost. Like, all you really need from Zoro, all you genuinely just need from Zoro is... Let me concentrate. Don't act like that. What are you talking about? Don't act like that. You're supposed to be able to show the heart's true. Let me concern you. I'll show you right now. This is my autograph. This is the autograph I didn't give them back in Ichiraku. So that you've come up with that. I need to believe in myself. I need to trust in me the villagers believe in. You need to be me, since you are me. Thanks for everything, but it's all right now. Yeah. I thought I was immune to Zoro, but I'm 0.02% Nigerian. Yeah, I'm sorry. Zoro is instantly going to blitz and one-shot you. This part of the series was corny. The dark me. It's not the dark you. It's not about the dark or any of that crap. It's about a person's inner hatred. None of these statues were carved without heads for... No, those stone statues were carved without heads. You're supposed to fight the Nine Tails. I'm even supposed to face and fight the Nine Tails, so he doesn't even have anything excessive, doesn't he? Do you really think you can achieve Biju control without being excessive? Fool, you fool. Okay. The risks are too high in Naruto. Use a doppelganger. I said the sacred place rule, meaning generations of Kumogakure ancestors have been stepping, such tricks won't work. Came here to gain control over the Nine Tails' power. I have to do this. I'm not running away. I have to believe Naruto. Yeah. I played the trick too. The headless statues are just broken to scare a fool. Thought this place was sacred, you fool. Very impressive. A lot more solid than my own Tekofuin steel shell seal. You got the key, right? So you have to undo the seal. That won't happen. Yo, spooky glare as always. Why can't Zoro take down the leopard though? He did. I'm man, gonna lie. I'm off, man. Good luck on stream. Oh, thank you so much, Andre. Appreciate it, man. Have a good one. We'll be here for a while. Touch the tug. God of War. The tug of war. I want to help you with this fight. The chances. Bring it on. Okay. Because of Hagzor would have an easier time destroying Blackbeard than Luffy. Wait, leopards are African? I don't know about leopards being African, but some people, I think, probably would argue Rob Lucci's black. Maybe because of the hair. I don't know. Motherfucker came to school with a peanut butter and a jelly tortilla wrap. Yeah, that person has to go. That person has to 100,000% go. I'm even more cooked since I'm trying to be a defense attorney since Zoro will see me as defending black people. That's crazy. I think you'd actually do a pretty good job. I'll say that power scalers have the right amount of tism to be able to do law, considering that all of our arguments are usually based entirely around the idea that, you know, they have to have some level of logic and reasoning behind them. My mom used to tell me, I did technically pass the an entrance exam on the same level as the not the bar, the other one. What's the exam that you need to the LSAT? Yeah, it's the LSAT. I remember actually like passing an exam on the same level as the LSAT in order to get into an online law school, but I was told that I was basically told from an actual lawyer when I was playing Magic the Gathering with them that, like, yo, you don't want to do that. I was like, what do you mean? He said, most law firms are really just going to check where exactly you went to law school for. I don't want to be a lawyer, but I have to study it anyway for my bachelor in economy. Ooh, you have to study law? Okay. Interesting. Yeah, they told me that, like, they basically told me, actually, that, like, yeah, so for at least for like becoming a lawyer, many firms or many places that would, like, you know, actually try to like hire you, they usually do look for like the prestige of where you graduated from. Online law schools, though, they do get you the same, though they will get you the same sort of degree. It's not going to be held to the same prestige or regard as an actual law degree from like Harvard or any of the other Harvard or Yale or any of the other like big schools. What the fuck was that sound? Can you guys still hear me? Only reasons over loss, so do something about it. Yes. What are you talking about? Your fertility Christian cult ends here today, edgy mods. That's just weird. That's just weird. Yeah. There you go. I don't know. That was kind of off-putting. Like, what are we talking about? I always find that weird. Why do people come into like chats and stuff like that just to say or do weird shit? I never got that. Like, I get the idea of like being one of those people on the internet that's like very quirky and stuff like that, but like if you're really adding nothing to the conversation and you're just trying to, like, I don't know, say something wild, you're probably, I don't know, probably should do something a bit more constructive with that time. He said something about, like, the mods or whatever, and I'm just like, yeah, it's fine. This was pretty fucking raw, I will say. I don't know how the fuck he made this, but this was pretty fucking raw, dude. Jesus Christ. I don't know. I do need this, though. Wasn't even supposed to be mean. It was a dream bully joke. Guys, give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Minato looks fire. Schizo ramblings. He could cosplay Moon Knight, probably. I don't know. This one's pretty cute. I like this one. This one's great. I love these like images of like Naruto being a rapscallion while also spending time with Kushina and Minato. Little stuff like that's nice. You know what I mean? Little stuff like that's really nice. Just like a what if. I don't care about the actual what ifs when it comes to like, you know, I don't care about like the what if portions of it when it comes to like the actual anime, just because I'm not, or like the movies and stuff like that, just because it's actually non-canon. But like, I do like those moments. Naruto got two pretty parents and still grew up so washed. It's just the hair, dude. It's just the hair, man. It's just the fucking hair, man. I don't know what to tell you. It's just the hair. It's just people just don't like the shortcut. That's okay. It's perfectly fine. Blame the third Hokage? I don't know how the fuck you can blame the third Hokage for that, dude. I'm gonna be real with you. And this child will be... Okay. Okay. Minato might have actually made the Nine Tails like way smaller than just half its size. Plans to save the village by making his own son a Jinchuriki. Okay. They'll be facing to Jinchuriki in motion. Unique. Honestly, very tough even for me. In fact, Hiruzen gave Naruto like 3 pennies and spent the rest on Kushina's feet pics. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. I hate the orphan trope in anime and manga. Yeah. I'm gonna have to like separate this. Has both mommy and daddy inside of him at once is so wrong. You know, if you can word something in a very terrible way, yeah, you can probably make that argument, right? Like, I'm pretty sure that could work for like anything. I don't know, man. Saying Naruto has both mommy and daddy inside of him at once is kind of fucking wild, dude. I wonder what if Minato didn't die, just how much would things have changed? With Uchiha clan being wiped out still, Naruto likely had better childhood than his father in his life. Probably would have had a better... Probably would have. 1,000 hungry sharks. Cool. Your move fists move so fast, moves through the air so fast that the friction causes flames to erupt. A taijutsu that destroys one's opponent via those flames and shockwaves of punched air. You really are a beast, a shinobi. The skill in taijutsu is rare, although I have known others. Perhaps I'm a beast, but a blue beast. The next taijutsu will blow off the last move. Doesn't come close to. Hardly anyone's ever seen it. Impressive, but his blue chakra pushes aside water. Alright. We're finally at the island level feat. The 8 inner gates, Hirudora, the afternoon tiger, Hirudora, pretty lame name. I thought Master sounded like the young shinobi Naruto fire. There's no time to be physical. Has a blast radius and it's about to hit. Brace yourself. Don't move. That jutsu wasn't an energy bomb. Hirudora's a chai jutsu, not a ninjutsu that uses chakra. It's just a plain old super punch. The focused blast of pressurized air aimed at your opponent. After initial compression, it quickly spreads outward. This aura surrounding me is a chakra. Those who open the seventh way perspire blue sweat. The aura just comes from my exertion. No wonder, I thought that was an energy bomb. Seemed to shrink, but it wasn't nullified. This was your third class. I can't believe you have such a move still hidden up your sleeve. Hirudora is a pretty cool bomb. There was an answer that you have been wanting to get resolved in chapter 1169. 1169, you say. Also, fuck it, I'll have that later. Oh, yeah, just, okay, so that's the next chapter that's coming up. Please just don't spoil it for me, okay? That's fine. Thank you. All right. She mixed in explosive tags. I find it kind of weird that, like, if he tries to absorb something with his mass, if he tries to absorb something with Kamui, he can still be affected by it. Like, apparently, maybe an explosion. Kamui is so weird to me because it's like an explosion can essentially cause a situation within Kamui where if he's absorbing something inside of the Kamui dimension, an explosion still has the power to cause damage regardless. I don't know yet. I mean, I don't know yet, dude. I'm gonna wait until I see the full fight before I, like, say anything about it. I want to... I don't like making... I don't even like going into, like, an assumption of anything until I have a much better understanding of what it is. I remember common knowledge Naruto would be close. Why do you think people believe that? Being common knowledge. No. I don't... As far as I remember, a lot of people, for, like, the longest time, people would say Naruto versus Luffy wasn't close because Naruto would curb stomp the fuck out of Luffy, right? Like, what's Luffy gonna do against the Rasen Shuriken? Cellular level damage, TSO, Naruto's way faster than Luffy, how does Luffy fight thousands of clones, so on and so forth. I've never at least had... I never at least saw, like, discussions online at the time that would have implied that, like, people believe Naruto and Luffy was, like, ever remotely close. Like, you either had one side arguing that Naruto curb stomps negative, no concept of difficulty, yada yada yada, because he scales too high, or you had people, like, making arguments about One Piece that in a lot of ways felt like they were just grasping at straws. Something other than himself into Kamui. Okay. Let me try something real quick. Seems you were planning to blow yourself up just as I was sucking you in and take me down with you, but you failed. I think I was faster than you and managed to suck away the explosion, though it did hit a bit. So he has to be fast enough to suck away the explosion in addition to it, right? Absorb, absorb, absorb. It can't... The explosions go through. You cannot teleport. I've been paying attention all these years. To teleport, you must first materialize. It takes longer to suck yourself in than another person or object. If I hadn't switched from flying to slip past the explosions, I would have been... Switch from flying. With all these explosive tags everywhere, she can attack at any moment. You have to be careful where I materialize. I also have known that you can slip through objects for no more than 5 minutes. So many explosive tags, there are 6 billion paper bombs. I plan to kill you all the way for a full 10 minutes. Okay, just making sure, because I was actually wondering about that. Fuck me, man. I might have to end stream early today just because I got somebody showing up, dude. Fuck me. Damn. On average, the discourse was Luffy is going to lose 100% of the time. Hell, even the Death Cast had similar arguments. I was in shock. Luffy won the fan vote. Okay, so if Obito tries to suck something into the Kamui dimension, he can't dematerialize himself. That I understand. If he tries to dematerialize himself, he's not exactly teleporting himself into the Kamui dimension. He's sort of just making like a placeholder for himself on the outside while things go on the inside. But he can't also do it for more than 5 minutes. If he tries to suck himself into the Kamui dimension, it's slower than sucking in another person or an object, and sucking in a person isn't fast enough to just avoid an explosion, which means that Obito's ability to... Okay, so, actually... Wait, hold on a minute! Just wait on a minute! Alright, hold on. Hold the fuck on. So you remember how, like, there was a person... I remember... There was somebody in chat who brought up... I don't remember who the fuck it was. There was somebody that had brought up that the moment right here... where, what's his face? Where the Tsuchikage tries to absorb... There was a moment here that implies that the Tsuchikage was capable of, like, dismantling Sasuke. Okay, no problem. The argument was that wouldn't Obito technically have a speed feat from going in there to Sasuke, teleporting out of Sasuke, grabbing him, and then teleporting both himself and Sasuke out of this location. Okay, which means that they would have to be faster than the particle dismantling jutsu. But this is the first time we've seen the particle dismantling jutsu, and we know and Sasuke was already caught on the inside. We know for a fact that the speed of the jutsu must be fast enough to capture Sasuke without him being able to do anything about it. Granted, Sasuke shouldn't be able to escape the outer layer. But right here, it's very much visible that Obito, while passing through all of these attacks specifically, grabs Konan, and as he tries to suck her in, among them there are explosive tags. He says right here, I didn't take you seriously enough. This come from a former Akatsuki member. Seems you were planning to blow yourself up just as I was sucking you in, and to take me down with you, but you failed. Which means she was trying to blow up Obito within that instance. He says, I was faster than you. I managed to suck away the explosion, though it did hurt a bit. Which means Obito's reaction speed, it's either Obito's reaction speed or Kamui's ability to suck things in is still slower than that of an explosion, since he had to react to the paper bombs. You see that the paper bombs are just starting up, which means they didn't explode right there on the moment. He saw them before they exploded, and yet they were still... the explosions were still fast enough to tag him through it, which means absorbing other people through Kamui is slower, or absorbing other things through Kamui is slower than an explosion, which means sucking somebody in actually travels at a slower speed than, like, let's say Mach 2 to 5. Sorry, 5 to 10, right? Then Konan says right here, I've been paying attention for years, it takes longer to suck yourself in than another person or an object, which means that the speed at which Obito can teleport inside of the Kamui dimension is slower than Mach 5 through Mach 10. Is slower than an ability that is slower than Mach 5 through Mach 10. Okay, I just put that together. Holy shit. Obito's teleportation speed is slower than an explosion. Okay. Holy fuck, that was annoying to, like, put together. God damn. Alright. Damn, imagine losing this fight. Just jumped the argument in DMs. Alright, I'll check it out after this chapter. So Mr. 5 solos, yes. I don't know, actually. I don't know about Mr. 5. Alright, let's see. Oh, right, I have to open it back up. Doesn't mean that Inoki's atomic is slower than explosion? Potentially speaking, yes. Yes, Inoki's particle style jutsu, at least while captured inside, at least while you are inside of it, doesn't take you down at a speed that is faster than the speed of sound. Or sorry, it's faster than the speed of an explosion. Yes. How strong would Luffy be after learning how much mass to use? I don't know what you're talking about. I assume you're talking about the mass thing that they brought up in God Valley. We'll see. Sorry, was that guy trying to say that Luffy was I don't know. Alright, Lapis sent them. Let's check them out. Holy fuck shit. Alright. So, basically, here is why Sasuke's AP and DC should be moon level. It's a little bit more complicated just because of how the first moon in Naruto verse was created, being both a feat by Hagoromo and Hamura. Based on how certain jutsus work in Naruto, Hamura should have no ability to actually be a contributing factor to Chibaku Tensei itself. Rather, he was basically there to restrain Kaguya so that the jutsu could be could culminate enough to where Hagoromo could do the rest of the heavy lifting. Because Sasuke possesses the Rinnegan like Hagoromo, he should be the only one who can actually seal Kaguya away when the fight was taking place. Okay. This means he is 100% doing the actions of sealing Kaguya, while Naruto is basically just restraining her. Now, look at the celestial bodies that was formed, judging from but the jutsu was the jutsu was specifically from Hagoromo. The catastrophic planetary devastation is a jutsu that comes specifically from Hagoromo. He's the one who did it. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, only because Hagoromo is... the jutsu doesn't spur out until after Hagoromo's the one who claps his hands together and then forms the moon. I don't know if I agree with that, but sure. Let's just say that it came from Sasuke. Sure. This means he is 100% doing this action of sealing Kage, where Naruto is basically restraining her. Now look at the celestial body that was formed. Judging by the depth of the crater and its size and the material that was used in its creation, he should have used a chunk of the crust mantle and potentially the outer core once it was material. The outer core once it's fully formed. If you don't believe it, here's a diagram of the layers of the earth. Funny enough, a similar size amount of destruction in our world over 4 billion years ago formed our moon. Anyways, back to the main discussion. Our moon is roughly 25% the size of and 1.2% the mass of our Earth. This chunk of the planet's material is within roughly those parameters based on the scans. So then how do we know that the planet that this celestial body is made out of the size of Earth? Well, I'm glad you asked. As a matter of size, as masses of matter increase in size and mass, they become more and more spherical. An example is I have given Mars moons Phobos and Deimos 22 kilometers and 14 kilometer series, the largest asteroid in our solar system, roughly 1,000 kilometers in size, and Earth is 13,000 kilometers. Because the planet is extremely spherical, it implies that its gravitational binding energy is closer to that of Earth's. With this knowledge, I can safely say that Sasuke, okay, that's fair. I like the scaling. I don't know if I'm okay with the idea of saying that, like, Sasuke is the reason why the jutsu itself happened, because, again, that wasn't his jutsu. I would say that's Hagoromo's. But off of the preconceived notion that Sasuke can fight a Kaguya-level threat, and he should be able to perform a feat like this with his Rinnegan, yeah, I can agree with it. Okay. If we're arguing, like, not this feat specifically, but Kaguya's feat itself, I can agree with it. But, like, a Kaguya-level threat, if Sasuke can do the same to a Kaguya-level threat, I can agree with the feat. I think that's fine. Opinion on Fent being designated as a weapon of mass destruction. That's crazy. I can send it to you. I could just send it to you, 6, if you want. Wait, not that. Okay. 2, 6. There we go. I sent it to you, 6. Don't worry about it. I got you. Fuck, I still have the 4th grade Shinobi War to go through. We got, what do we just got here? What are we talking about? Just got here? Well, we were, one of our mods was essentially talking about an explanation as to why Sasuke is potentially moon level in AP and DC based on the sealing Kaguya thing. Sure. But he's using mostly real-based calcs and under the assumption that the moon is equal to the size of Earth's moon, so on and so forth, yada, yada, yada. I made the argument that Onoki's particle style shouldn't be faster than an explosion. Yeah. Glad I was the ability to explain. Yeah. No, you really did a good job at explaining it. Again, I can agree to this. I can agree to the context of this scaling if we're talking like Boruto era Sasuke or the last era Sasuke. I ever forget which one is the one that says that he has the capacity to fight a Kaguya level threat on his own. I think I think that if you believe that Sasuke can perform a similar level of planetary devastation to that, to a Kaguya level opponent that is equivalent to the planetary devastation that Kaguruma performed, then yeah, I think that's completely fine. I think that's fair. Wait. Didn't people react to particle style, so it can't be faster than light? No, yes, you can react to particle style. It's not as fast as light. If I go by the scaling that Kishimoto wrote right here in these chapters, then yeah. Yeah, it's definitely like the speed of an explosion, technically slower. How does planetary devastation work exactly? Where does it start and form? Can Pain / Sasuke control the starting point? They create... Yeah, please, Red Up, stop spamming, please. You didn't have to do all... Fuck. I mean, you could assume that Naruto's stronger... I mean, you could assume Naruto's stronger than Toneri. Well, that whole line of scaling is genuinely dependent on whether or not you think TSO erase everything that they touch or they don't. If you believe that TSO erase everything that they touch, it is not a moon level feat because it's erasing it through hacks. If you believe that the TSO don't erase everything that they touch and it is based entirely on attack potency, then yeah, Naruto can be moon level. Yeah, either way works. Oh, because you've talked to them about them before? Yeah, they do spam a lot of it. Yeah, that's fine then. Yeah, so... Yeah. particle style also, yeah, particle style is also slower than an explosion. Which is like, again, less than Mach 5 to Mach 10 in terms of speed. Technically, it's slower than an ability that is slower than an explosion. Is Luffy FTL? Yes. We've spoken about this many times. Luffy is FTL. I have a whole video that you can just click on my channel, check it out. There's a whole video on it that is right there and ready for anybody to check out if they have any doubts about One Piece being FTL. Alright, just gonna take these as well. Okay, well, I'm probably gonna take like a small break here. I'll probably check out one of Six's videos, and then we'll see what happens. 16 minutes, yeah, I can check this out. Let's check this out. Wait, let's make it big. Okay, I actually do like Six's content quite a bit. I do like watching his stuff. I think he did like a stream once where he was like actually editing on stream for like a really easy video. You should know Kinshiki was stating that his raw power can split. No, it just stated that he has a blade that can split the world. Kinshiki data book. Data book. Let's see. A forbidden power that can split worlds and obliterate all things. And yet he doesn't have a single feat to back that up. Also, this is like a title piece right here. This is just a title piece. This doesn't mean much other than it being, again, a title piece. It's like the Kurama can turn the world to ash. It's just a title piece. This is the actual text that's more pertaining towards the story. As potential figure extends his Otsukazuki lineage, after Kaguya was ordered to control this world, and he and Momoshiki plan to obtain immortality, revive the god tree, but has the ability to absorb any kind of ninjutsu and release chakra in the form of weapons. Wearing the looks of fighting gear, he is equipped with gloves that are intended for combat. That can split worlds. No, this is a... I'm going to explain it again. This right here, these... Let me show you. Wait. This right here is a title piece. This is a title piece. This right here is a title piece. This is not a part of the statement. It's his power they're talking about. Yeah, and what power of his can destroy the world? Because he doesn't have a feat that can back it up. None of his feats back it up. Why did Boruto give the Otsutsuki such boring designs? Also, we all cracking Kaguya. No, we're not. I'm not cracking anything. It has the same properties. It is literally made out of TSO. For a guy with such a big title, he sure loses hard to far weaker characters. It's the title of the statement, bro, written by the person. The title doesn't actually explain anything. It's just a title to gas it up, like the data books. The data books, all they do is gas things up. Kurama data book. Kurama data book. It also says he can obliterate all things, and we know that's not fucking true. This statement for Kurama is also a title. This is also a title page. This is also the title to what is going on here. Storm Ultimate. Yeah, I don't have to check out the Ultimates because the Ultimates don't do it. They explain the power in the description. Yes, they explain the power in the description. Okay, so let me show you the description again. Kinshiki Data Book. I read the description. I don't know what to tell you. No, we're not doing this. Why is it always Facebook, dude? Why does it always pop up a Facebook thing? Yeah, we'll just do this one. Right here. This right here is the actual description. This right here is the actual description of the character. This is just the title. Yeah, he also loses to, like, the Kage, none of which have six paths powers, and they do overwhelm him. I don't know what to tell you with that. Either take the statement as hyper-literally as possible with no feat to back it up, or you don't. And if I'm going to take that for Kinshiki, oh well, I guess Kinshiki is only as strong as Whitebeard, an old sick Whitebeard from Naruto. Doesn't matter if it's a title. The title of his power, it's the title of his power and ability. That's not debunking anything. It is debunking it because, again, what within the context of the series implies that he has the power to slash the entire world in half. His blade can quite literally has planetary attack potency. What feat does it have? Said he fought Sasuke, who's similarly strong. And what did their feat do? All right, so sure, let's look at the fight. Sure, let's look at the fight. Sure. I'll play along. Sure. Okay, so he breaks the ground. Okay, sure. I'm hitting you with the same logic you're gonna try to hit me with the whole Whitebeard planetary thing. If it's just a statement, it does not matter. Do you think Sasuke can swing a blade with planetary attack potency? Because I don't have a reason to believe that. Why does Sasuke have a blade that... Sasuke have the power to split the planet now with his sword too because of this? I don't believe that. What about... Oh. Don't show the whole thing. I can't show the whole thing. Okay. Sure. Man, I guess Sasuke's katana is now planetary in terms of attack potency as well. Even though he has no feat to back it up, and there's no statement that implies Sasuke's... Yes, with the Susanoo... Oh, but is this a Susanoo, though? Is Sasuke's normal katana without a Susanoo, is it planetary? Man, this is some real planetary shit we're doing here, right? Sasuke without... Oh, this scene's actually pretty cool. I will always give this. This scene is pretty cool. Yeah, that's planetary. Yeah, that's a planetary feat. Sure. I don't know what to tell you. Sasuke Susanoo was stated to be stronger than Kaguya's TSO somewhere? No, it's not. No, it's not. You're gonna have to find that. I'm not finding that. Tell me exactly what data book I can look that up in, and we can juke it out.
Of Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. Naruto does things that should, by all accounts, be impossible. Changing the status quo or the existing state of affairs in a manga is one of the best ways to show the audience that this character is something special. Naruto has rules and laws, just like the real universe, and the main character...
Bro, Kishiki was one of the people Kaguya feared. Actually, let me be real with you about that. It is like, yeah, we're just going to watch 3 videos real quick so I can get an idea of, like, where 6 would scale Naruto. Somebody was bringing up, like, 6 is scaling in the Naruto planetary stuff. I'm just going to, like, look through these real quick so I can get some of the scaling down. One of the people, yeah, how do we know she wasn't actually afraid of Momoshiki? The statement is vague. The statement is vague in the same way that people argue. Kaguya is stronger than Momoshiki and King. Here, let me actually explain it like this. People believe 3 things, right? There are 3 rules of thought with all of this bullshit, right? There are 3 rules of thought with this bullshit. I'm just gonna split it up into the following, right? People believe one of 3 things, right? Kaguya is weaker than Momo and Kin. Kaguya is stronger than Momo and Kin. Kaguya is weaker than fused Momo. The open-endedness of the fucking statement that Kaguya was making up an army for the potential Otsutsuki threat is left open-ended. I did say the open-endedness of the statement essentially implies that she is either weaker than Momo and Kin, stronger than Momo and Kin, or weaker than fused Momo. The main consensus that people have, or actually there's actually a 4th level to this, because I know for a fact some people believe Kaguya and fused Momo are equal. Which of these? Kaguya is not stronger than Momoshiki. I'm not saying that she is. You're arguing something that I'm not even debating right now. You're arguing something that I'm not even debating right now. I don't know where she scales to them. I know that Naruto and Sasuke at least stated that they should be able to take out a Kaguya level threat. So, by that logic, she probably isn't stronger than Momo and Kin, or she probably isn't on an equal level. Now, there's arguments to be made that they don't have a way of dealing with the ETSO because they never deal with it. Again, I will always repeat myself. We've seen Momoshiki fight stronger versions of Naruto and Sasuke. Well, no. We've seen Momoshiki fight a stronger version of Naruto and Sasuke that are at half power at least. He stole half of Naruto's chakra, and as far as Sasuke goes, he literally opens up multiple time-space jutsus that also cost him a fuck ton of chakra. Who's the strongest out of them? I really can't tell you.
Uzumaki breaks those rules every single chance he gets. Naruto could ignore the rules of finesse and chakra control because he just has so much of it he can throw out jutsu left and right. Jiraiya could never master Sage Mode, but Naruto did it in maybe 2 or 3 days. Minato and Kakashi both couldn't imbue their chakra nature into their Sengon, but Naruto, using a cheating training method that can only be used because of another way he's already broken, which is that he has just so much chakra, can learn the Rasen Shuriken in a little less than a week. But not only learn the Rasen
6
Shuriken,
days approximately.
Naruto learned what his chakra affinity
Actually,
was.
no, it was about a week. It was about a week. Because Naruto still spoke to Azuma, and then they had to do the 6 days of the Akatsuki thing. So it was about a week. So Majestic Attire is Susanoo. That's considered the strongest jutsu in terms of offense and defense during the Momoshiki fight. Right. So Naruto and Sasuke separately can't beat Kaguya, but together, probably. I don't know how they take out... Now, I spoke about this before, actually, earlier today. A Kaguya level threat doesn't innately mean Kaguya. A Kaguya level threat doesn't innately mean Kaguya herself, because again, single-handedly, I have no idea how the fuck they do it. Together, sure, they can beat it through the Susanoo. Naruto is like the Fortnite LMG. He can spray without barely reloading. Fair enough. What did you ignore my comment? What comment? Dude, there's a lot of comments. Oh, best counter to the argument is Enel has a move called God's Judgment, so therefore he is God. Oh yeah, I don't care about that, dude. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't care about that level of scaling. Anyway, so then the question is, okay, can you prove that Kaguya is weaker or stronger than Momoshiki or Kinshiki? Again, it kind of fucking depends, because Naruto and Sasuke are strong enough to fight a Kaguya level threat, but the Kage never have that fucking they never have that statement. So then the argument then becomes, well, okay, if it's fused Momoshiki that is stronger than fucking Kaguya, or at least equal to Kaguya, I don't care which one, Kinshiki therefore is not the person, by your fucking logic, obliterate Kaguya. Of course, what did you think? I don't know, man. Yeah, you can totally make the argument if you want. By your logic, then that means that Kinshiki cannot be one of the people that Kaguya was afraid of. She was mostly just afraid of either Momoshiki or Ishiki or wherever the fuck, dude. I don't know, man.
Learned how to raise his output, learned how to put the wind nature into
Allegedly,
the
she is immortal. That's why they have to steal her.
and created the Rasen Shuriken. Not to mention, it's not like the Rasen Shuriken is just like a powerful jutsu kinda. It uses cellular microneedles to rip your chakra system apart. That's insane. It's almost like imagining Neji hit someone with an 8 trigram. That's insane. It uses cellular microneedles to rip your chakra system apart.
Okay, that's fine.
Insane. It's almost like imagining Neji hit someone.
When talking about him. Sure. So you're saying that the 5 Hokage can also take down Kaguya then? But I definitely don't think he's stronger than Kaguya. Okay. So he's not stronger than Kaguya. Okay. So him fighting Sasuke doesn't really mean much then, because Sasuke is stronger than Kaguya, or at least stronger, or at least about as strong with Naruto as a person that can beat her. Like, I don't know, man. Oh yeah, Simon does beat the fuck out of him.
Today I'm going to be going over every time Naruto broke the Naruto verse and how he did. Appreciate the idea that a lot of people have, but Naruto broke the cycle of hatred. This might be me bringing
It's not crazy for Kinshiki to be moon level. What makes him moon level? What exactly makes Kinshiki moon level? If he's not stronger than Kaguya, what makes him moon level? What feat? What statement? What thing makes him moon level? Oh, that he scales off of Kaguya? Okay. And Kaguya, especially the split the world title, nothing backs that up though. Nothing backs up the split the world title, so I have no idea what to tell you. Oh no, I'm talking about the Boruto era Kage Lapis. I'm talking about the Boruto era Lapis.
Something that not a lot of people draw attention to. By all means, going into Naruto vs. Sasuke round 2, the stage was set for Naruto to get the dub on Sasuke and have to take him down permanently in order to get rid of him. A pretty big detail of the second fight is how the chapters are titled. They're all titled Naruto vs. Sasuke Part 1 through 5. And then the chapter where they reconcile is called Unison Sign, meaning the fight is
okay, over. So Whitebeard isn't planetary then, since he don't got feathers to back it up, feats to back it up. I mean, I'm using the same logic people use. I don't care if Blackbeard isn't, I don't care if Whitebeard personally isn't planetary. Me personally, I don't care. But if you are going to make the argument that off of a supplementary source, if you're going to make the, let me put it like this. My reasoning is straight up this. People like to make the argument. That Whitebeard isn't planetary, even though he has 4 statements that directly say he is planetary. No, it's always some bullshit excuse like it's society, blah, 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 blah. Okay. People like to make statements. Okay. Now, you're arguing Kinshiki is planetary because of a single title entry in a data book. You see where the logic comes in? That's all I'm saying. If you are going to give me the bullshit ideology that because of a statement from a supplementary source of a part of the series that I am not even going to talk about, or at least talk about in depth in my video, since I'm only going up to the end of Naruto, not Boruto, I'm going to the end of Naruto. If you're going to hit me with some bullshit logic like Kinshiki is planetary because of a single title entry in a data book, not even the actual statement part, no, the title entry in the data book, it's the same logic that people use for Whitebeard isn't planetary. In the same way that I don't believe that Kurama is planetary, if you're going to argue that Whitebeard also isn't planetary for that, again, you have to use both. I mean, if the statement is there, it's there. Then we see the same people fight people like Sasuke. It's consistent. Who the fuck fights Sasuke? Because again, prove to me that Sasuke's sword swing is planetary in attack potency. There's like this common misconception, I've talked about this before, there's a common misconception that people seem to have where like, Sasuke has Chibaku Tensei, or Sasuke has, I don't know, Indra's Arrow, and Indra's Arrow, let's just say, has the attack potency to blow up the planet. That also means that everything else that Sasuke does, including a Chidori, including a normal sword slash, including a punch to the face, including a Matarasu, they all must also have planetary attack. No, that's not how it works. Different abilities and different jutsu within your repertoire, within your toolkit, they all have different levels of attack potency. To sit there with that logic, I'll get, yeah. What exactly proves that Sasuke can swing a sword as hard as he can use Indra's Arrow? Because at that point, there's no point in using Indra's Arrow. There's never a point in shooting a giant blast of lightning or Naruto to perform a Rasen Shuriken if his punches just have the same amount of force packing behind them. They don't ever prove that. There's nothing that gives it to them, but hey, people like to argue that.
Naruto or Sasuke throw a punch at each other.
That's like saying tailed beasts are automatically all... that means that a tailed beast's punches are mountain level because they are able to wipe out mountains with a tailed beast bomb. The tailed beast bomb is quite literally the ultimate jutsu in their arsenal. A tailed beast does not punch with the same force to carve away at a mountain. Oh, what the fuck? The fuck? Why is it muted now? Oh.
Glimpses of up until now. He got this mindset after talking to the Hokage, and the first glimpse of it comes when he's burning up the Ten Tails and says he wants all the Biju to burn up.
Yeah.
He then says, I'm going to put an end to this failing system currently in place, and then anew, he doesn't get to complete the thought.
Okay, this is... Okay, I don't care about the mindset shit.
Lie, thinking, obese. I also don't think it's a coincidence that Sasuke happens to say this after saving Naruto from an attack that would certainly end his life. And thinking of Team 7, but not only thinking of Team 7, thinking of Naruto in the picture.
Peeta pissed off the horse.
Sasuke was always planning on doing this. That's just for the people who say Sasuke came out of nowhere with his revolutionary idea. It was there all along, just not in full. Madara and Hashirama, along with the reincarnation cycle of Indra and Ashura, only served to bolster the idea that Naruto...
Okay, this is all like... The cycle of hatred. Yeah. I don't care about the cycle of hatred shit.
All that crazy. And I mean, especially now with all the super strong opponents we've been introduced to since Pain's demise. But Naruto beating Pain is really kind of insane. Even when taking into account a lot of the context surrounding the fight, like Naruto having tons of help and the intel he gathered. Yep. I see this only as Naruto using things at his disposal in order to fight someone, but I know other people look at it differently. But let's just establish a few things about Pain. Pain took out the entire Leaf Village. He fought every Konoha shinobi excluding Might Guy and a few others, and he won the fight. Kakashi, Tsunade, the Anbu, everyone else got beat by Pain, and then he blew the village away.
You mean Naruto's fist? You mean if you're gonna make the one smart, you always make disingenuous claims. If you're gonna say that Naruto's fist, you know, the fist that he charged up with the entirety of his KCM and Sage chakra to punch a guy in the face, if you're gonna compare that fist to Sasuke's regular slash, come on now. Naruto literally pouring in all of his chakra into his right hand versus, and Sasuke never clashed with it. What slash clash can do it?
I've made
What are
this
you talking
comparison
about?
before, but this is essentially the same thing as just defeating 1/5 of the Shinobi Alliance, which is a pretty crazy perspective shift that I don't think a lot of people consider. While I do think it's a lot more impressive, someone else also did this that people hold in a very high regard, that being Madara. Don't mistake my words here. I'm not saying that Pain is as strong as Madara or even approaching his power.
True.
I'm just saying, look at the type of people that can pull off a feat of this nature. Pain comes in, not only does he do that, he shows the ability to heal his unalived and broken bodies. He can spam summonings. He's got the strongest ocular powers. He's firing missiles. He's fighting Jiraiya one-on-one in Sage Mode. Every sign of a legitimate, broken, strong fighter belongs to Pain, and Naruto still beat bro. Pain made a planetary devastation to capture a rampaging Naruto, and that still didn't work. Before you get on about how this is the Nine Tails, it doesn't matter. Naruto has the Nine Tails the entire series.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to establish here is that the status quo changes drastically when Pain comes into the fold. Think of it as another wall being put up to a height that you didn't even think was reachable previously. And instead of climbing that wall, Naruto just breaks
There really
it down.
aren't that many
Just
Shinobi that I
think
think
of
could
some of the
honestly beat
things
Pain.
Naruto
Unless
did
they
to
have
Pain.
like six Pat's
Pain
powers
launches
or
an
just
almighty
some
push
massive
at
amp.
him, and he stops it and forces the recoil back onto him, sending Pain flying away. I also want to point out something that no one ever really does, and it's the fact that when Pain actually beat Naruto and pinned him to the ground, Naruto wasn't in Sage Mode anymore.
Yeah.
Which is probably why Pain was able to pin him down in the first place, considering we just saw a chakra rod literally break on Naruto's skin while he was in Sage Mode. And we're told Sage Mode gives you an extreme amp to your durability when Naruto falls on this spike at Mount Miyaboku. No one ever really likes to give Naruto his props when it comes to that. I'm not saying that Sage Naruto would have just completely negated what Pain was about to do, but it would have been significantly harder for him to do so. Naruto even asked the Diva Path while he's being held by the Preta Path, "You think you can hurt me? I'm in Sage Mode, you idiot, now my turn." But then he starts getting the chakra drained from his body, and Pain does admit that his
When has
senjutsu
Kurama
is
done that?
bothered.
Because I've read
I'll
up to
reiterate again,
500
this doesn't
chapters
explicitly
recently,
mean
and I've
Naruto
yet
is,
to
like,
see the Nine Tails do that.
Proof or something, but it should put into perspective that when he's in Sage Mode, the difference in their powers isn't all that crazy. I'll also recognize here and now that, of course, when the Diva Path pinned Naruto down and Naruto was out of Sage Mode, that is Naruto's fault. You can't really blame Pain for capitalizing on it. I'm just mentioning, if he was in Sage Mode, it would have gone down differently. Even after Planetary Devastation, Naruto engages with Pain again in Taijutsu while he's in Sage Mode, and he wins before it goes off and he stabs himself with the chakra rod and makes a Rasen Shuriken, both of which are things that either disturb your chakra or use a lot of it. Obviously, though, Pain is fatigued here, he just used the Planetary Devastation, but I'm just saying. This is also on top of Naruto learning full Sage Mode in a total of like 2 or 3 days, so just keep that in mind. This is what breaking the verse is all about. Pain changes the status quo and Naruto shatters it further. I think it's worth noting that from this point forward, Naruto battles all contain the craziest things. I mean, right after this, we cut to Sasuke's POV and he's fighting the leaders from each village while evolving his new Susanoo further and further, and it gets to the point where bro straight up ends the future leader of the Leaf Village. Naruto's creation of the Rasen Shuriken is something that needs to be studied. Let's first talk about the base for this jutsu, the Rasengan. This is a giant ball of chakra that spins violently to increase its attack potency. But in Naruto's hands, someone with a crazy chakra supply, this jutsu becomes something like a human-tailed beast bomb. So much so, in fact, Naruto's Rasengan are stated to create impacts like small meteors. So that's already pretty crazy. Then
A male sum of chakra becomes a huge projectile, take out enemy, struck the volley to pass through the ground, gouges the ground. The impact created by a compressed Nine Tails chakra is equivalent to the impact of a small meteor. Cool. How much impact do small meteors usually carry? Meteor. There's inertia. That has a small meteor like the size of 2 football fields. Okay, no, not that. Gravity. Well, I would actually have to do the math for that. Naruto, giant Rasengan, databook statement. Manda Blast Wave. Two Tails, Rasen Shuriken training. No, we go back to right here, post time skip. Find the small meteor scan. Small meteor scan. Find the small meteor scan for the giant Rasengan. Giant 90 amped Rasengan. It can be as large as 2 SAR bombs. How big is a SAR bomb? How big is that?
Add a chakra nature on top of that, you get a wind style Rasengan, which a surprising amount of people didn't know. People think the Rasen Shuriken is the result of putting the wind nature in the Rasengan, but that isn't the case. As you can see here, Naruto can do a wind style Rasengan, which only boosts its power. When Naruto does this, his jutsu actually goes up to the level of Kakashi's Rasengan, or maybe even a little bit further considering it burned Kakashi's hand. Then you take this to the next step and you get the Rasen Shuriken. The Rasen Shuriken can completely sever someone's chakra network, and according to Tsunade, the effect is more like poison than physical trauma. It damages on a cellular level. As attacks go, it's incredibly minute. She said,
are you talking about the physical size of the meteor, or are you talking about like comparing a small meteor because equals city destroy? Where exactly is that implied? Where exactly is it implied that a small meteor destroys a city? How small of a meteor are we talking? Because the area impact of the scan that he showed was not that big. What is it, like a 3-4 meters? Just an AP? Yeah, but how do you... I feel like there's a lot of factors here that we're just completely ignoring. Because... okay, the amount of the energy that he's putting in, that he creates this massive crater. Okay, well, massive in keywords. It's like 3 meters, probably. Big fun fact, the random OP pre-time skip pirate could eat the force of a meteor. Can you give me an example of who? Today's Tuesday, right? Yeah, today's Tuesday. Anyway, we're back onto this.
Rising amount of people, or maybe even a little bit further considering it burned Kakashi's hand. Then you take this to the next step and you get the Rasen Shuriken.
Oh, this is just
the
the
Rasen
eyeball?
Shuriken
Okay.
can completely sever someone's chakra network, and according to Tsunade, the effect is more like poison than physical trauma. It damages on a cellular level. As attacks go, it's incredibly minute. She says that she thinks it shapes the wind chakra into an armada of tiny swords and systematically attacks every cell in the body. I'll just show everyone what it did to Kakuzu real quick.
It's in Sabaody.
Now you see the result here is bad for sure, but at least this time the Rasen Shuriken had some drawback to it, where the same symptoms seen in Kakuzu's body were
also there was something very interesting here. There's actually something very interesting here. Lapis and Bob. I actually have an idea that I wanted to like roll by you guys real quick. So I was talking to Six about this, or at least we talked about it on stream yesterday. I don't know if you guys were here for that. Let me just look up for search for Tsunade, and let me look up just about these panels specifically. So there's actually an argument that Luffy could quite literally one-shot Naruto if he hits him in the heart specifically with any punch. I got you real quick. Just before you go, look that up. Just check the screen out real quick. Okay. Let's go to the end. Okay, so it's around here. It continues. The symptoms are on Naruto's hands. Okay. So read this right here. And then also... no, not to you. I don't need you anymore. And then read... no, not pre-war arc. What the fuck? Okay. 1 second. Let me just throw this in here just so I don't have them separate. Okay. Perfect. And then there is this statement right here. Okay. So we got both statements up. It says right here... by the way, don't worry about right here why it says Heirakuke and then she's saying Keirakuke. I think that was just a mistake on the translation's end. But anyway, it says right here. Tsunade states that Naruto is going through induced arrhythmia, right? It's induced arrhythmia, his heart muscles are torn. Kabuto states, I cut off his heart's Keirakuke, the chakra network he heals himself with from the Nine Tails powers. I used everything I had to stop him from healing on his own. Okay. Right here she says, once a cell of the body is cut off from its Keirakuke, it's beyond my ability to heal it. even with my medical ninjutsu. Be sure that Naruto understands this implicitly. Essentially, Kabuto ripped apart Naruto's chakra network around his heart. He literally affected his heart because it's stated right here, by Tsunade, not this one, by Tsunade, that his heart muscles have been torn. She says it right here. His heart muscle is torn. It's induced arrhythmia. He says right here, I cut off the chakra network in around his heart's chakra network. She says, once a cell from a body has been cut off from the Keirakuke, it's beyond my ability to heal, and there is no statement, at least as far as I could find, that implies that Naruto's chakra network around his heart healed. So, technically, if a punch from any version of Luffy that uses internal destruction lands on the side of Naruto's head or in his chest area where his heart is, he straight up just dies. There's nothing he can do about it. He doesn't have a healing chakra network around his heart. Well, it's good, IMAX. Hope you're doing good, man. Just wanted to pass by that little idea for you guys real quick. Don't know what you guys think.
Becomes null and void. He can now expand it after it's thrown to cover an even larger area. Then don't even get me started on what he can do with this jutsu now. He's put just about every chakra nature based Kekkei Genkai into one of these, and he can now spam it without the drawbacks. Obviously, a jutsu like this can't be allowed to run rapid, so naturally opponents had to either become durable enough or hacked out enough to not immediately get negated. So once again, Naruto broke Naruto. Naruto's use of Baryon mode embodies this concept completely. It's complete and utter abuse of a power system, even if it does come with a massive drawback. Kurama combining his and Naruto's chakra in a way that's similar to nuclear fusion is absolutely insane, and it's a whole new type of power-up. Kurama says the other modes like 6-Path Sage mode and KCM are modes that involve taking chakra that you acquire from elsewhere and just using it. But Baryon mode is a completely different beast. The raw materials to create this energy, Kurama's and Naruto's chakra, both get consumed until they completely run out. The very existence of this form had people wondering if it was a Kurama exclusive or if other tailed beasts could do it with their host as well. Not to mention, Naruto used this form to absolutely decimate what was the top point still stands, even the strongest of that. Until the introduction of, and I kid you not, an actual god in the verse, Naruto was the strongest in this form. It's up for debate whether or not he's stronger than current Boruto or Damon.
Where did he scale Naruto? He's just talking about where Naruto breaks it. God, my Wi-Fi is so buns. As for Naruto getting one step, it's a decent possibility. The only reason I'm iffy is because the size guy, forgot his name, said it'd be too hard to kill Naruto. What size guy? So he just sealed him? What size guy are you talking about?
And that's just because, in fact, as a most word chakra amounts, like the sum that he just has so much chakra, there's no need to focus on
what size guy are you talking about?
You can just learn jutsu that only require large chakra amounts, like the summoning jutsu. Let's also talk about how, for most of the time, people thought when Naruto kicked Madara's Truth Seeker Orb away, it was due to a new immunity thanks to 6-Path Sage mode. But it's actually just because of the massive amount of chakra he has, as stated in the data book. Naruto's giant chakra supply also might be why he was able to learn Sage mode as quickly as he did.
I'm not trying to find an Achilles heel. I just so happened to literally find a statement that sounded wrong. Take a look at what I said. Oh, you said something? Let me see. Sorry. Yeah, he is cooked. He is cooked. Also, Gear 5 also would get one shot if Gear 5 used lightning-based attacks because it could cause tricardia, which would stop him. Wait, let me see what this jutsu said. That's pretty funny. Kicking his sphere, surpassing Kurama mode, a vast amount of chakra enables attempting this risky event. Okay.
In the data book. Naruto's giant chakra supply also might be why he was able to learn Sage mode as quickly as he did. Hawes states that you need a fairly massive chakra supply in order to learn it, and we know Naruto.
Okay. What was the Naruto's ninjutsu is unbeatable? Alright, let's see.
As a follow-up to my literal most popular video ever, where I went over Naruto's taijutsu and how it's unbeatable, I'd like to do the same thing for his ninjutsu, since it has an equally godly status. Ninjutsu is likely the highlight of the entire Naruto franchise. Of course, like I've said in the past, while taijutsu is a very important and prominent aspect, ninjutsu mainly drive the plot forward and always have that bigger bang to them, especially among the higher tiers in the verse. Take for example Edo Tensei, which was used to wage a literal war and bring.
How in the world is Luffy planetary? There's a statement from Whitebeard saying he can destroy the world. The world is way larger than our own. Luffy should scale above current Whitebeard.
Former Kage, former criminals, and
if you need to know,
Uchiha, all brought back by the power of ninjutsu, and similarly, all contested by the ninjutsu of one man, Naruto Uzumaki. I've gathered every feat relevant to Naruto progressing as a user of ninjutsu, whether that be in skill or just getting more destructive, and I plan to show by the end why Naruto is almost the perfect combatant when wielding ninjutsu. Before we begin, I'd like to ask if you could leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, as I'd really appreciate it. Naruto's skills may lie in ninjutsu, but you can improve your own skill set with today's sponsor, Skillshare. If you're diving deep into the world of creativity lately, you've got to check out Skillshare. I hopped on there and managed to grasp Adobe After Effects in a way I never imagined, but Skillshare is
Oh, I get what you mean. The guy's name. If the size guy. Okay. Said it'd be hard to kill Naruto. Probably
So
doesn't know
he's mad or
Naruto doesn't
racist
have a
can pull off
chakra
some of the
network.
craziest and most creative ninjutsu feats. I think Naruto Chapter 1 is a great example of this because retroactively it serves as just a way to show us Naruto's insane potential, where he learns the multi-shadow clone jutsu and clones himself 1,000 times. After this, due to a high amount of chakra, Naruto is able to learn the summoning jutsu, and while the summoning jutsu itself isn't all that complicated,
Wait,
it's a fairly wild
it wasn't. It wasn't. Well, it was Ishiki technically, but it was Jigen that said the thing, and Jigen didn't at the time that Jigen put away Naruto. At the time, when Jigen put away Naruto in that ceiling bowl, I now know what you're referencing. He didn't have the Byakugan active. He was Jigen. Jigen doesn't use the Byakugan. I don't know why I missed so many messages. Jigen doesn't use the Byakugan, so how would he know that Naruto's chakra network around his heart would stop him from, like, you know, the chakra. How would he know that there's no chakra network around his eyes? He probably assumed Naruto can just heal from it.
asset in the hands of a 12-year-old with far too much chakra. While there was a pretty good balancing mechanic when Naruto was first learning the jutsu, where he could only summon small toads because he couldn't muster up the chakra to summon any of the bigger toads, that mechanic became sort of irrelevant as he got better at controlling Kurama's chakra, even while he was a kid. I don't care.
A chakra network is pretty common knowledge. Yes, Jigen does not have the Byakugan. Ishiki, in the Ishiki form, he has the Byakugan. As Jigen, he does not. Well, not blow up the planet, but shatter it with his earthquakes.
To repeat the specifics of all this, considering I know everyone has heard it before, but he could have summoned Gamabunta against Neji, and then when he really needed it, he summoned him against Gaara. There are obviously the later examples with Kimimaro and Sasuke.
See, the ad voice is different from the current voice?
Here
Probably.
and mention something pretty interesting, and it's that Naruto, after the fight with Gaara, had earned Gamabunta's respect. So saying that against Kimimaro or Sasuke, Gamabunta might not have helped him is probably not true, at least not from Gamabunta's perspective. Easily the most creative and impressive jutsu Naruto
I've never seen such a bumbling ninja. Extraordinary boy.
learned at this point is the Rasengan. This naturally is
What does he say right here?
interesting, and it's that Naruto, after the fight with Gaara, had earned Gamabunta's respect. So saying that against Kimimaro or Sasuke, Gamabunta might not have helped him is probably not true, at least not from Gamabunta's perspective. Easily the most creative and impressive jutsu Naruto learned at this point is the Rasengan. This naturally is going to be a big point in the video, considering a lot of Naruto's progress in this category comes through this jutsu. Naruto's general lack of skills with hand signs, coupled with his massive chakra supply, made the Rasengan basically the perfect fit for him. I think this point may be a bit counterintuitive to the overall point of the video, but Naruto's Rasengan didn't do all too much damage to Kabuto, at least not in the long run. Like, yeah, of course Naruto catching the kunai with his hand, and then using his shadow clone to form the Rasengan was really good and really cool, and yeah, it did knock Kabuto down, but Kabuto did get up again and use the summoning.
Alright, guys, I'll be back in a second. I don't know how long I'm gonna be gone. 1 second. Guys, I'm gonna have to end stream very early. Just a bunch of shit just started happening around the house. I don't really have a lot I can really say about this right now. I just have to head out. See you later, guys. I don't really have much to say here.